beautiful Martorelli Stadium in the North Hills of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Everybody, welcome on into the Friday night countdown on KDKA Plus alongside former Pitt Panther defensive back Colin Johnoff. I'm Susie Cole. North Hills Indians holding host to the Mars Fighting Plans for their first home game of the season. Now, North Hills looking to right the ship. Mars trying to stay in the win column. Colin, initial thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, you know, Susie, I just hope these guys can really appreciate playing Friday nights in front of their hometowns. I played in some amazing environments in some serious situations, and I always go back and I always remember the high school days first. It's just something special about playing with the kids you grew up with and playing in front of your hometown that just make Friday nights in Western PA really, really special.
And playing in front of a student section like this, we have to give a shout out to North Hills student section right now. It is neon night. If anybody's confused, it's not construction night, Colin. It's not construction night. But it's time to get into those WIPIO headlines from week one. Up first, we have a wild week one. We saw this with week 0 action, a lot of upsets across the WIPIO, but in week one, it was the same thing. Two games that really bring this home. Chartiers Valley with their first win over West Allegheny in overtime, 29-28. First win over West Allegheny in 16 years. And then Central Catholic with an upset over Pine Richland.
Yeah, so I think the big thing is what was really cool seeing Chartiers Valley go for 2 to win that game. I think that sends a message to your program, hey, we're going to be gutsy, we're going to go for it, and we're going to be ready for these environments. And I got to say, I was pretty happy. I have some salt in my mouth from West Allegheny from when I played in high school.
Okay.
So it was really great to see them pull that off. Central Catholic, I mean, they're a behemoth every year. A little bit less surprising to me, but, you know, pretty good football week one. That's why you play the games.
You do know I'm a West A alum, right?
I did know that.
Okay,
yeah.
yes. A West A alum here. In Central Catholic, you got to give a shout-out to head coach Ryan Lahmeyer. He has not beat Pine Richland up until this point in his career. He actually coached at Pine Richland for a period of time. Central Catholic fell 3 straight before that win last week, and, man, what a crazy win it was. 2 kick return touchdowns to start off the game with less than 28 seconds in the game before either offense touched the ball, and then Central Catholic comes out with the win, 34-20. But you know who else had a crazy game last week? It was the Clairton Bears, 79-0 over Sarah Catholic, but they won't experience it this week because Shady Side Academy, will the real Slim Shady please stand up? Because they're sitting out.
Yeah, it's such a tough one. You know, you want to approach the situation with nuance. I don't have all the information of why they're not playing. Maybe they are really hurt and they can only have so many guys suit up. But you got to be disheartened as a fan that wants to see that, particularly, you know, being 2-0, you want to see them play against Clairton. I think it's just one of those things where as a fan you're disappointed. You want to give people the benefit of the doubt. Certainly doesn't look good from a program perspective, but in the event that everybody is hurt, you know, you certainly got to give that team their condolences.
Bears head coach Wayne Wade really giving a good perspective. His team only has 25 players on that roster. Shady Side Academy, 40 players on their roster. Apparently 20 of them are injured. Now, their athletic director saying the safety of our kids is first and foremost. I do agree with that. However, Clairton, they're a true 1A program. 25 kids on their roster. Wayne Wade saying we graduated 39 last year. He's very passionate about his team, upset that they can't get the stats, the reps, watch the film this week. But somebody else who's passionate about their program, Pat McAfee, looking at what he gave back to Plum earlier this week.
Yeah, pretty awesome stuff. You know, we talked a little bit about it earlier with the nostalgia of it. And someone with that type of audience to be able to come back to Plum, give back, and give some of the speeches and words of encouragement that he did, you know, really cool. You know, I think he's awesome for the sport of football, and certainly, you know, awesome for the sport of football here in Western Pennsylvania for Plum.
Yeah, Pat McAfee, if you're not familiar with it, donating a new scoreboard to the football stadium, indoors, new digital stadiums, Daktronics, technology type of setup, subscription for the school as well. Just really great. Also donating $2 million to the Plum Athletic Department as well a couple of years ago. But it's the Friday night countdown on KDKA Plus. We'll be back with more after this.
Thanks for fixing the door.
I was nervous about that lock.
To your family, you are more than just your income.
What would she do without me? She'd probably have to marry our next-door neighbor, Todd.
Well, Todd, I have no feelings for you whatsoever, but I'm going to have to say I do. I can't afford a handyman.
Better get some life insurance.
Although you're irreplaceable, a life insurance policy from GBU Life can provide the financial security your family needs for a secure future. To get started, visit gbu.org.
My favorite thing to buy at Giant Eagle is sourdough bread.
This is hard because I have really good things to say. I love the fresh produce. I love the fresh meat.
I'm pretty sure the fish guy knows me by now. We're buds.
I love to grill. That alone keeps me coming back.
We love the fact that we have the My Perks program.
The people that work here are so nice and so helpful.
They are always very friendly, especially Pam.
Everybody loves the cakes from Giant Eagle.
This is my Giant Eagle.
A house is just 4 walls, but a home, that's something more. At Your Town Realty, we don't just work here, we live here. We're small by choice, with deep roots and real relationships that go beyond transactions. And because this city means so much to us, we give back, year after year. It's not about being the biggest, it's about being the one that feels like home. Your Town Realty, locally owned, community grown.
Welcome back to Martorelli Stadium in the Friday Night Countdown on KDKA+. And I mean, Colin, we are so lucky this week to be joined by this North Hills student section. Here we go, Steelers in the background. It is truly a Steelers High School showcase, a game of the week here with our Week 2 action. And now it's time for a little Post-Gazette 2-minute drill. The one and only Keith Barnes, not here with me this week, but let's see him take it away.
Well, we're 2 minutes into the high school football season. Already we have a lot to talk about. I'm Keith Barnes of the Post-Gazette with my colleague, Matt Press, and we are here for the Post-Gazette 2-minute drill. So, Matt, what did you see that kind of stood out for you last week as we enter into week 2 of the WPIL season?
Yeah, I think something for me was definitely Peters Township. I mean, took down McKeesport 35-0, and important to note that was without Keemon Spell for McKeesport, but still really impressive. We've been talking a lot about Peters Township's offense. Nolan DeLucia's looked really good at quarterback, obviously. Lucas Shanafel at tight end. And then Reston Lehman, I mean, both sides of the ball, defense, offense. Peters Township just looks like they're going to be an absolute force this year.
For me last week, it was kind of stood out was Aliquippa. I mean, Aliquippa did not play a week 0 game as they are wont to do, but this was the return of their head coach, Mike Warfield, and after a 1-year sabbatical. And it was kind of interesting to see how they were going to do in week 1, and they came out and just destroyed Bell Vernon 42-7. Marcus Council looking good as the team's quarterback. Khalil Good doing what he does. I think Aliquippa established itself that maybe some teams are underrating Aliquippa, and that's kind of hard to do. But in this instance, maybe that's the case in a very competitive 4A. So, Matt, let's talk a little bit about the game we're discussing now, which is North Hills and Mars. Mars making a trip to North Hills. Interesting, considering that Mars head coach Eric Kasparovich is a North Hills graduate, led the team to the WPIL and PIAA titles in 1993. This is a homecoming for him. He hasn't played in front of his old home crowd in more than 10 years since he was the head coach at Pine Richland. So this is going to be an interesting game as far as that kind of dynamic. What do you see here?
Yeah, and a lot of the talk in 4A rightfully is TJ, McKeesport, Aliquippa, but Mars has looked really good. 2-0 so far. Dominated Beaver in week 0, 42-7. Beat a really good Bethel Park offense last week, 13-7. Didn't allow an offensive touchdown, actually, to Bethel Park. So Mars has looked really good defensively. Aiden Yoakum's been their bell cow running back. Gabe Hines, one of the better receivers in the WPIL. I mean, Mars has looked really good on both sides of the ball. I think it's going to be a tough challenge for North Hills.
I agree. And North Hills is coming off that loss to Seneca Valley last week, and that was not pretty. Okay, for Matt Press, I'm Keith Barnes of the Post-Gazette. That was our 2-minute drill. And now back to Martorelli Stadium.
And North Hills holding host to the Mars Fighting Planets, who are 2-0 to start off this season, Colin, and 2 very different wins at this to open up the season. A 42-7 win over Beaver in week 0, and a nice 17-13 win over Bethel Park last week.
Yeah, I'd be impressed with their defense, right? You look at 7-13 given up in the points column. If they can continue that throughout the year, they're going to be a dangerous team to play against.
North Hills Not seeing as much success to start off 2025. 0-2 to start off the year, but they took on two 6A opponents, and they are a younger team. They're growing each and every week, and interim head coach Brody Zangaro said it's really just about making strides until conference play because that's when it matters the most.
Yeah, that's a great mentality to take. Obviously, starting 0-2 is not where you want to be. The defense on this side, a little bit worrisome, giving up some points. If you can establish an identity or find something to create some belief and get confidence in yourself and build upon that as you go through these weeks. Right now, as you're 0-2, it's less about the win-loss column, like you said, and let's make strides as we get into conference play.
Now, whenever you look at these two teams, I know we just talked about their records. One has a perfect slate, the other one looking for that first win. But if you really had to hone in on one attribute that either of these teams have, what is it?
Yeah, I think one thing I want to look at Mars' situational passing attack. I think something that got lost last week in their defensive game that they played was actually making critical plays in critical situations. So you look here, late in the game, right? 4th and 7, fourth quarter. They're down by 3. You're going to get a trip set up top. You're going to get a tight end to the boundary. You're going to have a defense that's lining up man underneath, 2 safeties up high. What makes this play extra special from a technical side is they're going to have 7 men in protection, only a 3-man route. And then what they do with the 7-man protection is you give your quarterback time to allow the receiver to get open, despite being in what looks like triple coverage here. Like I said, it's really tough, even with 7 defenders, to cover 3 receivers when the spacing is so good, which you can see between the 3 different receivers. And that enables the quarterback with time, find the open receiver, thread the needle, execute in critical moments. That's what I want to see more of from Mars as they progress. If they can do that, they have a real chance to be dangerous and make a run this year beyond just this game. If they can match the passing attack with the offense, with the defense in the run game.
You mentioned North Hill struggling defensively. How do they attack that situational passing for Mars?
Yeah, so as a defense, right, you have to have your non-negotiables, right? What are the things that you can't give up? And if you do that from a defensive standpoint, you have better chances of success, particularly when you're trying to find a rhythm. Have your non-negotiables, have the things that you can't give up, and work top down.
Mars and North Hills about to battle out here at Martorelli Stadium in just a short bit. We'll be back here on the Friday Night Countdown next.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
In a world of big corporations and interpersonal experiences, there's something truly special about family-owned businesses. For over 70 years, the Mike Kelly Automotive family has been serving the community with integrity, honesty, and a commitment to putting families first.
And we're not stopping anytime soon. Our commitment to excellent sales and service remains stronger than ever.
Visit us today and experience the Mike Kelly Automotive difference. Because when you buy from us, you buy from family.
At Octane Customs, we take pride in helping our local businesses make an impact. We don't just wrap vehicles, we build moving billboards that get your business noticed. From bold designs to expert installation, our 3M certified team delivers quality you can trust every time. Book now and mention this ad to get 10% off your custom business wrap and turn every mile into a marketing opportunity. Octane Customs, your brand on the move.
From heating and cooling to a large array of construction equipment, Herc Rentals has the gear you need to get the job done. Herc Rentals is already a staple in several communities across the United States and Canada and have been serving our customers' needs since 1965. With a catalog of equipment that spans the spectrum of almost every kind of solution you can think of. To learn more about Herc Rentals, visit hercrentals.com or call us at 1-888-777-2700.
Welcome back to the Friday Night Countdown on KDKA Plus. Alongside Colin Jonoff, I'm Susie Cole. If you're just tuning in, and it's our favorite part of Friday nights, where the one and only Matt Fargo, the voice of the Steelers High School Showcase, joins us for a little Friday night conversation. And Colin, this week, he sat down with wide receiver from Mars, Gabe Hine, at the beginning of the season. Let's check out their conversation right now.
Friday Night Conversations with Gabe Hine. Gabe, kind enough to join us. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
As Fighting Planet's going to meet the North Hills Indians in an early season showdown. But Gabe, before we talk about the showcase game, I want to take you back to last season, a 6-6 year that was a roller coaster ride of a regular season. But you guys started to figure things out in the postseason, knock off Montour, and get into the WPL semifinals, which I don't think anybody but your locker room had you penciled in that bracket. Has to make you feel good, and I would imagine the hunger for this season, the way that last season ended. You never want a season to end, but I'm imagining that feeling was a pretty good one and a powerful one, given the way the regular season had gone.
Yeah, I mean, even from last year losing the semifinals, you go back to my sophomore year too, we lost again.
Yeah.
2 semifinal losses back to back. We're just like ready to get at it for that WPIAL championship. Even like you can see it now with all our players from the weight room, on the field practicing. We're all just like going hard at it because we know even more this year that like this is our year if we're gonna go all the way.
Talked about some changes at quarterback, obviously graduation, moving some guys away from the team, but that also means that other guys step up. Who are some of the guys you're looking forward to in stepping up this season and filling in some of those holes?
Main guy, well, Colin Yerznik, he's going to be the starting quarterback this year after our senior quarterback, Luke Goodworth, graduated. Sadly got hurt last year, couldn't finish it, but I'm hoping he's going to step up this year mainly because he's got to lead the offense. But another guy is Aiden Yoakum. He's our running back after Eric left, and Eric was a big, impactful player on our team that made a lot, especially in our semifinals game last year with 6 touchdowns. That's not something that everyone does like a while. So we're hoping that he picks back up where he left off and he can get at it too.
What would it mean to the Mars community to get on top?
I mean, first and foremost, program, it'll just feel special because we've had a rough time before Coach K came, which is horrible seasons on top of each other. But just for the community in general, it's just going to lift that. I mean, who doesn't love football? So we're in that WPIAL championship this year. It's just going to bring the community together. Everyone's going to want to come see us on Friday nights. It's going to bring people together. It's just going to be a good time.
How much do you hear about the Coach K days? And, he was a quarterback on a championship team. Obviously, he's not only teaching there, but he went there. All of the lineage that is, he wears red all throughout the day, I'd imagine. And now, then he goes into practice and puts on the Mars blue and gold. But you have to feel like for you guys, you're going out there to try to win one for him as well.
Yeah, I mean, we make fun of him for wearing that red during that week, but we're going out there for much as us, but for him, because we know he goes there, he probably teaches some of those players on that field, so we're just trying to make sure he goes into school that next week knowing, hey, I just whipped on you on that Friday night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Colin, the man of the hour, Matt Fargo, full of those Friday night conversations, joins us right now alongside his counterpart for the night, Arthur Moats. Guys, it's good to see you.
Good to see you guys as well, Susie. It always is. Friday night at North Hills, back with Arthur Moats for another Friday night here at the WPIAL. Welcome into the broadcast booth, everybody. And Arthur, it is the home opener for North Hills, but it is a homecoming for one Mr. Eric Kasparovich. First time in 10 years since he's coached here, going all the way back to his Pine Richland days. It's been a decade, and he's got his Mars Planets trying to get in the right direction.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, if you look at how Mars has been playing this year, coming out the gate 2-0, they are fired up and feeling good about tonight.
No question, and we're feeling good about our players to watch, brought to you by Giant Eagle. And we'll start with the Mars Fighting Planets. Gabe Hine, Eric Kasparovich is very high on his wide receiver, saying he's one of the best in the state.
No, absolutely. His ability to run after catch is impressive. You see him right here, taking a screen play all the way to the house for an explosive play. This is why he's talked about. This is why he's the Sacred Heart commit and why he's the player to watch tonight.
On the North Hills side of things, it's Joey Lutz. He leads the team in tackles so far with 26. 2 TFLs. You got to love to see that. What makes him stand out to you?
I mean, for me, when I look at Joey, his nose for the ball. Right here, the thing that I like is this. As the hole opens up, dips the shoulder, but then from there, the relentless pursuit to finish on that quarterback, not allowing any type of special run after that. And then right here, you see him again, shooting the gap after he sees the puller, takes the dive, but then is athletic enough to still make that play on the quarterback. Super impressive. He is a guy that we're going to need to see a lot of tonight.
And I liked the celebration at the end of that one as well.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll send it back down to Susie, Cole, and Colin. Johnov getting close to kickoff, guys.
So close to kickoff, Matt and Arthur, and we'll be back with you in just a little bit for those picks of the night. We're going to step aside here real quick on the Friday Night Countdown on KDKA+.
This is a meal. We're talking a good food that makes you feel good meal. You feeling that? Now, meal this. A salad for the first time in a week meal. A catching up with your ex meal.
So, how's your mom?
Been there. Ooh, a scoring cool dad points meal.
Obviously.
Thank you. Do I spy an I need 5 minutes to myself meal? Whatever you're feeling, at Panera, it just meals good.
Pittsburgh, get ready to see PPG Pace Arena like never before. PPG Pace Arena tours take you behind the scenes of the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is your chance to step inside the Penguins locker room and feel the history of the 5-time Stanley Cup champs. See the ice from a player's point of view and go where legendary broadcasters told the biggest moments in Penguins history. From championship stories to behind-the-scenes secrets, this tour is the ultimate Penguins experience. Visit ppgpacearena.com and book your tour today.
Need construction or real estate services? One call covers it all. Macero Construction Group, helping shape the city you love and the name behind Pittsburgh's skyline. We manage construction for many local schools, ensuring strong foundations for the future. Need space? Macero Properties has prime office and warehouse locations in the airport corridor and downtown. And when disaster strikes, Macero Restoration is ready 24/7. One name, one call. Macero Construction Group, building Pittsburgh, serving you.
I'm Rocco, and I work here at Shell Polymers Monaca. Outside of work, I coach and train football at M7 Shell Sports Complex. We work with students on and off the field to develop their life skills, helping build my community.
Welcome back into Martorelli Stadium in North Hills, the home of the North Hills Indians. They're taking on the Mars Fighting Planets tonight, Colin. And now it's time for, I think that this is becoming my favorite segment every single week. The picks of the week of the biggest games of the week. I don't want to brag, but the last 2 weeks, I went 3 for 4. You weren't here last week.
I was going to say, I have a feeling I still would have picked wrong last week with all the craziness of week 1. So
We'll see.
Let's see if I can get on the right track
but
tonight.
Let's just get into those right now. Avonworth at Aliquippa is going to be that first game that we're looking at, and this one was a tricky one. There's 2 that were really tricky for me to pick. Now, both these programs led by touted head coaches. You got Duke Joncourt leading the Lopes. You have Mike Warfield back behind the bench for the Quips. The Quips putting up an awesome effort last week, holding their opponent to just 93 yards. Quarterback Marquise Council leading the charge with 11 passes, 281 yards, 435 yards of total offense for that team. The Lopes are also doing really great to start this season, but for some reason, I just got to go Quips on this.
I'm actually going to go the opposite route. I'm going to go with Avonworth. I think, our fearless leader, Matt Fargo, has convinced me on Avonworth because I picked against them last year so frequently. I think now I'm actually switching ties. I'm going to roll with Avonworth, and I'm going to roll with them.
And Arthur, don't always follow the trends, Colin.
I wasn't as sure as maybe Colin's making me out to be about this game. This game was really close last year. Avonworth had the lead, and then if you remember, guys, this was the week that we had all those rain delays, and Aliquippa was able to field the tide. I'm going to go with the Lopes to spoil. It doesn't happen very often at Heinz Field at the Pit in Aliquippa, but I'm going to go with Avonworth. I think Aliquippa has some things to work some things out.
You said the game was at Heinz Field, right?
It is.
Yeah, I'm going with the Quips then. Absolutely. They don't lose at home. Come on, man.
All right, yeah. I think this one's going to be very close. One of the best games of the week.
Arthur, always short and to the point. I love your thought process on that being at Heinz Field. Pick 2, we have Penn Hills at North Allegheny. Easiest pick of the week. Penn Hills has dropped their first 2 games of the season. They got shut out by Newcastle in week 0. North Allegheny, look at what they do. One of the best teams in the Whitfield, one of the best teams in 6A, and they are led by legendary Art Walker. You think that Penn Hills is going to roll in North Allegheny tonight and get a win? Absolutely not. I'm going Tigers all the way.
I think if you were to pick a most disappointing team through 2 weeks, I think Penn Hills might be there. I think preseason, you look at this matchup, maybe more excited. I got to go NA. Terry Grassetti, strength and conditioning staff, he's going to have those boys ready. No letdown this week.
Matt, Arthur?
You know, to steal the quote from the great Lee Corso, who had his retirement just last week, not so fast, my friend. Penn Hills came in last year 0-2 in this game and only lost to North Allegheny by 4. I say all that to say I'm still going to go with the Tigers.
I was over here like, man, they only lost by 4, which means they still lost. Yes, I also agree, man. Penn Hills, when you think about the expectations this year, a lot higher than what we're seeing to start the season off. So for me, I'm going to also follow suit and go with North Allegheny to go ahead and take care of business tonight.
Tough pick here coming up for pick 3, TJ at McKeesport. Both of these teams breaking in new quarterbacks for the 2025 season, both of them relying heavily on their run game. Now, for McKeesport last week, we saw star running back, come on, spell out. He is supposed to play against TJ tonight. However, TJ also with a star running back as well in Tyler Ebert through the first 2 games of the season, 348 yards rushing and also 8 touchdowns. Now, this game is going to come down to whoever can force the other to pass. Thomas Jefferson has thrown 15 passes this season. McKeesport has thrown 8. I'm going TJ all the way.
I got to go TJ as well. I just have a lot of respect for Trippak. You know, I had to face him as a player, so I know how good of a coach he really is. So I got to go TJ. It's going to be tough for me to ever really pick against those Cats.
Matt, Arthur?
WPIO Championship rematch. Obviously, the first meeting of the 2 of last year between these 2 teams, a lot closer. Remember, McKeesport had a 28-0 lead at halftime. It evaporated, went into overtime. TJ got the win and then had a convincing win in the championship game. Give me Thomas Jefferson, Tyler Ebert. Susie, you mentioned it. He is one of the do-it-all backs in the WPIO. And, of course, for the McKeesport Tigers, all their fans are saying, come on. He's going to be the key if they do have any chance at winning this game.
You're absolutely right. And with that, I'm not going to be the one that picks TJ as well. Give me McKeesport. I want to see Kamon Spell. He's finally back. We understand last week he missed, but he's healthy now.
Yes.
So if he's healthy, that's the #1 player in the country as a junior running back. That's the guy I'm going with to get the win tonight.
Not to mention with the fact that Kamon Spell is back, but both of their tackles returned that were out in the game against Peters Township when we saw them. That could be a deciding factor in this one.
Arthur, Matt, I think Arthur is just here at this point to shake things up. Truly. I'm interested to see what he says about the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week. Mars at North Hills. Mars rolling in a perfect 2-0 record. Their defense was so good against a high-octane offense, again, with Bethel Park last week, holding them to just 13 points. North Hills yet to see a win this season. With the confidence that Coach Eric Kasparovich and his team are rolling in tonight at Martorelli Stadium, I'm picking the Fighting Planets.
Mars is just such a well-coached team.
Yeah.
They wear you down. They execute at a high level. They have an elite-level defense. I really don't see North Hills pulling off the upset tonight. I'm rolling with Mars to keep their train rolling.
Matt?
You know, Mars is in a totally different universe than they were a season ago. You talk about a 1-1 start. They ended up in the first 5 games of the year. They were 1-4. I think Eric Kasparovich has this team trending. They've been to the semifinals the last 2 years. I think this team is capable of getting to a championship. Give me the Planets.
Yeah, I agree with everybody that's been talking about Mars tonight. I understand that it's North Hills home opener, all the excitement, all the fans, but it's just unfortunate that Mars has to ruin it tonight, so I am also going to go with Mars Fighting Planets.
Well, we'll see who comes out victorious with our picks after tonight's Week 2 action. Mars looking to keep that perfect slate to start off 2025, and the Indians looking for win #1. We'll see who comes out on top here next on the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week on KDKA+.
JRM Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of WPIAL High School Football, produced by JRM Video Productions.
Welcome to the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, presented by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. And welcome to Martorelli Stadium as the North Hills Indians play host to the Mars Fighting Planets tonight on the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week. The Mars Fighting Planets matching up against the North Hills Indians. It is week 3 across the WPIAL this afternoon, and we have a great one for you as we lift the lid on the North Hills Indians home season here as their home opener. We welcome you inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Matt Fargo, joined alongside the former Pittsburgh Steeler Arthur Moats. And these two teams trending in opposite directions. For the Mars Fighting Planets, they're 2-0, looking for their first 3-0 start since 2018, led, by, of course, by Mars alumni and current teacher and Eric Kasparovich. On the North Hills side of things, they're 0-2, and they lost just 2 games all last year in the regular season. It's a battle of opposites here tonight, but North Hills has the opening flavor of their home season to go with it, Martha.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think that that's one of the things that if you're North Hills, you want to lean on this crowd. You want to lean on this being the home opener. But for Mars, you know what you're here to do. You understand how the season has started and ultimately what you have your expectations set for at the end of this season.
It's going to be interesting, and we take a look at our St. Vincent College game changers. Arthur, how do you get a win here tonight?
Well, when you started for Mars, starting fast. I mean, this is a team that North Hills is coming in 0-2, struggling. So if the Mars can come out and jump in a hurry, they can ultimately take the heart out of this North Hills team and ultimately get the victory that they're looking for. The next thing we're talking about, though, is use the turnovers as the equalizer. Why is that? Well, I know there was a matchup last year that took place, and if I remember correctly, there was a team that had 3 interceptions in the second half to ultimately get the victory. That was this North Hills team. So we got to see how they respond and how they're able to sustain that type of production late in this game today. And then, of course, it's not the destination, it's the journey. When we're looking at both of these teams, we know very different for both of these teams from a year ago to where they are now. Take it one play at a time. Take it one play at a time. Both of these teams have had some success, but we also seen where North Hills has had some struggles a lot. So one play at a time for both of these teams, and we will see at the end who can minimize the damage to ultimately come out on top.
We'll have to see how it all plays out between the White Lines tonight. And speaking of the White Lines, Susie Cool will be roaming them all night tonight. Let's go downstairs to her.
The Mars Fighting Planets and North Hills Indians come into 2025 on 2 very different paths. Indians interim head coach Brody Zangaro says tonight is all about minimizing mistakes while matching the energy and discipline that Mars is known for. Mars head coach Eric Kasparovich not saying much about what his team has to do, but knowing all too well that this Indians program, despite their start to 2025, will come into tonight physical, with a vengeance, and ready to give Mars their first loss of the year. So to put it simple, Mars trying to keep the stars aligned tonight, and the Indians trying to shake things up. Matt?
Thanks so much. As Arthur put it, it is the destination, not the journey, and we are about to go on a journey right now here in the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week. Who will match up? And will it be Flying High with the Mars Fighting Planets? Will it be the pride of North Hills? Come back when we come back on kickoff in the Steelers High School Showcase.
Giant Eagle has always been a staple.
They help me at the pharmacy.
I do use the pharmacy. I get my prescription, my milk and bread, and be on my way, and it's like a one-stop shop.
I see the same faces every time I'm here.
It's local, and it's easily accessible.
I always run into my friends and family here.
I love being able to feed my children fresh local food.
I really like the produce here.
My favorite thing
is cookies.
This is my Giant Eagle.
To UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
A fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life, world-renowned surgeons.
Primary care sports medicine physicians.
Board-certified physical therapists.
A comprehensive multidisciplinary assessment to evaluate for concussion.
Nutrition.
Athletic training.
Sports performance. Everything is right here that you need. So we deliver that right to you.
At Octane Customs, we take pride in helping our local businesses make an impact. We don't just wrap vehicles, we build moving billboards that get your business noticed. From bold designs to expert installation, our 3M certified team delivers quality you can trust every time. Book now and mention this ad to get 10% off your custom business wrap and turn every mile into a marketing opportunity. Octane Customs, your brand on the move.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
Wide open for the touchdown. There he goes! Going! Oh, you've got to be kidding me! Not for a touchdown! How did he do it? A deep ball here that's caught and going all the way to the end zone. Oh, what a catch! And he breaks free. Quickly to the line. Back to pass. Pop pass. Got him open. Caught for the touchdown. He's got his man for the touchdown. Gonna go down the near sideline. It's caught. They connect. What a catch! The Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week. It is now time for the show kickoff to get us going here in Week 3. Mars to boot it away to North Hills. We are underway as Tabassi puts a boot into it. And on a return here, Justice Green, the junior, on the return for the Indians as North Hills offense will get the football to get us going here. And I think a lot of this has to be just getting comfortable early for this North Hills squad.
No, absolutely. I mean, when you're coming into a season or coming into a game where you've dropped your first 2 games, you're trying to find some type of positivity, some type of consistency to build upon. So let's see what the North Hills offense does to start this game.
Kelly McCarthy, the quarterback for the Indians, returning starter this season, 16 of 49, 3 touchdowns, but 4 interceptions. Certainly something that Brody Zancaro and his team want to eliminate. They go with the screen pass and pulling that one off the turf. A nice job of doing it was 24. Josiah Mathis on the reception. He gets decked quickly, though. No gain on the play. In fact, they're going to lose one back to the 29.
Yeah, really nice recognition by Brody Spencer, number 6 for that Mars defense. Ultimately seeing that it was going to be a quick screen play and then ultimately making that play at the line of scrimmage, forcing it to be a 2nd and long for the North Hills Indians.
Second down for this North Hills team that's 0-2, but they're 0-2 against 2 6A schools. So something to keep in their pocket. They're 5A. Mars checking in at 4A, so an interclassification battle as McCarthy going to swing it out here to the near side. It's Edison, and he is planted, and planted quickly he was. Ethan Krasinski, the senior, on the tackle.
Yeah, Ethan Krasinski is an extremely productive player. You look at what he did last week versus Bethel Park. Had a pick 6, 12 tackles. Definitely a guy that we're going to be calling his name a lot tonight on that Mars defense.
And so far, the North Hills offense has operated backwards. They've run 2 plays and have -5 yards. Now a 3rd and 15 at the 25-yard line as McCarthy goes empty. Gets the snap. Pressured, steps away from it. Now rolls, conducts traffic, being chased from behind. He's able to flip it over. Here the near side numbers, picks up the first down. Israel Armstead, the senior, following his quarterback's orders to perfection and picking up the game's first down.
Man, that was really impressive right there by Kelly McCarthy, extending the play. We obviously saw the pressure that happened right away, but his ability to extend the play, get out the pocket, find Israel Armstead for a nice first down, and now giving North Hills something to cheer for, especially early in this game while all the excitement is high.
Coaches love Izzy Armstead, the senior. High on him, and they go trips to the top of your screen on a 1st and 10. Knocking on Mars territory, flip a screen pass out to the far side. Justice Green, first down and more down the far boundary. Finally knocked out of bounds. North Hills goes 2 for 2. Back-to-back first downs on this one, and they're into Mars territory.
I like the approach right now by North Hills, taking advantage of the speed element, right? Trying to get to the perimeter. When you look at this play right here, getting the ball to Justice Green, and now from there, nice block on the perimeter, but the speed turning a regular catch into a nice explosive pass play right there. But it looks like we have some type of thing that's making this thing come back a little bit.
Yeah, didn't catch the laundry that's marching this way back. It looks like it was a hold at the line of scrimmage because they're going to go all the way back to the 37-yard line. So a killer there with some momentum. North Hills youngins look on. McCarthy goes empty once again. 5 wide receivers set. Designed run play for McCarthy. Avoids the first would-be tackler, and 2 more arrive to wrap up. Adam Yoakum, the first one on the scene for the Planets. Picks it to the 41-yard line.
And once again, a nice job right here by North Hills, just trying to spread out that Mars defense and just give them multiple looks to have to account for. They've thrown it to the perimeter. They've done some of the spread run option to the perimeter. And now you see the empty set QB draw. Just another thing for that Mars defense to have to account for early on in this game.
2nd down, 16. Ball rests at the 41. Sidecar this time is Edison. And they fake it to him. McCarthy keeps, and nothing's available on that left side for the Mars Fighting Planets. Zach Dentel, the senior, the quarterback of the defense, according to Eric Kasparovich, and a 3-year starter.
Absolutely. Zach Dentel is an extremely productive player for that Mars defense. But also, don't forget Ryan Walker over there as well, man, doing a nice job helping blow that play up in the backfield. This Mars defense is very productive, and that was really evident last week when they played against Bethel Park.
Yeah, the Mike linebackers teaming up for that stop. 3rd down, 16. Big win for the Planets last week, handing the Blackhawks their first loss of the season. Fake the jet motion, and new quarterback in. It's Austin Ellis, the sophomore, steps in to kind of run the Wildcat here as they go jet motion. And nice job by Ellis picking up some of that lost yardage. It's going to turn into a 4th down and 9, and at least they win, at least flipping the field a little bit, now closer to midfield.
Yeah, and they kind of had a little bit of self-inflicted wounds at the beginning of this drive, but in terms of their ability to minimize the damage and at least get it to the 50-yard line to kick this punt, this is what you want to see. And like I said, for North Hills, obviously not the start you wanted offensively, but best case scenario for everything that transpired.
Joey Lutz is the punter for North Hills, one of our Giant Eagle players to watch. He does a great job punting as well, and he does a fantastic job. Looks to the North Hills sideline, and a little celebration there as Mars will have to start with their backs against the goal line. 7:38 to play at our opening quarter. Mars offense. When we come back, you're watching the Steelers Showcase presented by Giant Eagle with the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. We'll be back after this.
Turkey's in season at Eaton Park. Whether you're craving it hot, stacked, Pittsburgh style, or served up with all the fixings, we've got you covered. Starting at just $10.99. Add a slice of pumpkin pie to any of these favorites for only $1.99. Only at Eaton Park.
Pittsburgh, get ready to see PPG Pace Arena like never before. PPG Pace Arena tours take you behind the scenes of the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is your chance to step inside the Penguins locker room and feel the history of the 5-time Stanley Cup champs. See the ice from a player's point of view and go where legendary broadcasters told the biggest moments in Penguins history. From championship stories to behind-the-scenes secrets, this tour is the ultimate Penguins experience. Visit ppgpacearena.com and book your tour today.
Fall is in the air at Pittsburgh's premier outdoor shopping, dining, and play destination, the Waterfront. Find fall weather gear at retailers like Old Navy, DSW, and Rally House. Dine at family-friendly restaurants like Primanti Brothers, Shorty's Tap and Taco, and more. Experience indoor playtime at Dave & Buster's, Urban Air, and more. Speaking of play, the Waterfront is a proud sponsor of this Steel City High School football broadcast and happy to support WPIAL football across our region. Visit us at waterfrontpgh.com for more information.
At Hello Bistro, we keep it fresh. Fresh flavors, fresh choices, endless ways to build what you're craving. Because food should be as bold as you are. You deserve fresh. Only at Hello Bistro.
Opening drive for the Mars Planets tonight. Welcome back to Martorelli Stadium. And the Planets find themselves backed up off their own 3-yard line. Colin Uriznik in at quarterback. And handoff right at the goal line. They'll say the ball came out past the goal line. It's kind of the opposite of breaking the plane. And just out. This ball will be placed at the half-yard line here.
Listen, Jalil McKinley-Jones is definitely a guy that you're going to want to watch tonight. You obviously see him making the big tackle for loss. Nice way to get that North Hills defense fired up on their first defensive play.
Returning all-conference player is McKinley-Jones, and now it's 2nd and 12 from the half-yard line. And Mars was maybe trying to do a hard count to buy some yards here with a thirsty group in red. Handed off and breaks through this time to the 7-yard line. Squeezing out of some danger is Adam Yoakum, the 5'9 senior. Converted defensive player last year. He played a lot of defense. Now he's the bell cow for this group.
I mean, absolutely. You saw what he did last week. 27 carries, 194 yards on the ground. That is for sure the bell cow and the guy that they're going to want to ride tonight.
They love to run the football, do the Planets. 3rd down and 6. This time they'll pass. Uriznik will throw over the middle, and it's knocked away. Incomplete. Janelle Edison breaks it up, gets in the passing lane, and it is 4th down. Punt unit out for Mars.
And that was a really nice job by Janelle Edison right there, just sinking into the throwing lanes. You can see right here on the replay, number 5, eyes on the quarterback, looking for a crosser, and then from there, making a nice play. Now remember, this is also a guy that had a pick 6 in week 1, so be careful testing that middle of the field with him over there.
Yeah, especially in this distance. Punt unit is out. Uriznik is the punter, and it is not a good one. It went off the side of the foot, and it will roll out at the 24-yard line. North Hills feeling good right now as they'll get the football at the 24-yard line after this punt. North Hills short field when we come back to the Steelers Showcase on KDK at 1.
In a world of big corporations and interpersonal experiences, there's something truly special about family-owned businesses. For over 70 years, the Mike Kelly Automotive family has been serving the community with integrity, honesty, and a commitment to putting families first.
And we're not stopping anytime soon. Our commitment to excellent sales and service remains stronger than ever.
Visit us today and experience the Mike Kelly Automotive difference. Because when you buy from us, you buy from family.
At Laway, we understand the power of personalization.
From hats to water bottles, our expert services include screen printing, embroidery, and a variety of promotional items. We also specialize in team sports gear. What truly sets Loewe apart is our dedicated design team, including our talented on-staff graphic designers and exponential customer service. Choose Loewe to make a lasting impression on and off the field.
Did you know you can make your home or building look brand new? For the whole project, or just spot repointing, make your home exterior brand new like when it was built. Call or visit Mariani-Richards.com.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine, GBU Life, Giant Eagle, grocery shopping made easy. Steelers High School Showcase Week 3. North Hills, good field position, 24-yard line. After the short punt, McCarthy back into the belly of Edison. And I'll tell you what, Brody Zankera very high on Edison, called him a game changer. He's capable of being that breakout back that North Hills, quite frankly, they need that star, and Edison has all the tools to become it.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, when you look at the stats for these guys on the year, he is their leading running back, but he also has their leading in terms of receiving yards as well. A guy that they want to get the ball in his hands because of how dynamic he is, but he's also a physical player, and that's the thing that really jumps out to me.
Came in today with 29 carries, 189 yards, had the one reception for a touchdown. Justice Green trying to go around the corner, and the corner was sealed. Doing the sealing there, Ethan Krasinski one more time.
Once again, man, when you talk about Ethan Krasinski, physical guy, but I love his instincts, and his ability to not just disrupt, but also be a playmaker and finish his play right here. That's what you want to see. And I would also say, nice job by Smythe, Dunaway as well, forcing that ball to cut back inside to him.
So 3rd down and 9. Mars trying to lock this down. North Hills, great opportunity they don't want to squander. Here are early moments, 5 minutes to go. McCarthy back to pass. Going to throw it into the end zone and hit the pylon in the back corner of the end zone. Incomplete. And it will be 4th down. And we'll see what North Hills decides to do here. It's kind of no man's land in terms of punting, so it looks like they're going to trot on for a field goal attempt here.
Yeah, and I like the attempt in terms of taking a shot at the end zone. Ultimately, it was double covered, so put the ball out the back of the end zone or put it where it can't be intercepted, so now you at least get a chance for points for the North Hills Indians.
Andrew Greenland on to attempt this field goal. A converted soccer player, recruited after coach spotted him kicking in the backyard with his dad, went across the street and said, "Hey, can you kick?" It's a laser beam, and that one is no good. Had the distance, not the accuracy, and Greenland cannot connect, which means we're scoreless here from Martorelli. North Hills and Mars. Steelers Showcase continues on KDKA Plus when we come back.
There's no place like home and no place you'd rather be than at Steelers Style, presented by your neighborhood Ford store, PNC, UPMC, and UPMC Health Plan. Be a part of the largest and most anticipated fundraising event of the year, benefiting Steelers charities. Get your tickets now at Steelers.com/SteelersStyle.
You might not see the people's pipelines that deliver you safe, reliable natural gas every day because they are out of sight, hiding beneath your feet. But what's out of your sight is not out of our minds. We move through busy city streets to upgrade the infrastructure that served our region for decades, using state-of-the-art materials that reduce emissions to power homes and businesses with essential energy for generations to come. That's people's commitment to making your life better.
You know, when Gary's call came in, just by the sound of the call, you knew that this was a bad injury.
When I saw Gary in the hospital room, they were afraid that his injuries were so severe that the lower leg wouldn't be salvageable. It was 50-50 as to whether Gary was going to keep the lower limb.
My name's Gary. When I needed help the most, Edgar Snyder was there for me. I wouldn't have wanted no one else. I'm glad they were my team, straight up.
From heating and cooling to a large array of construction equipment, Herc Rentals has the gear you need to get the job done. Herc Rentals is already a staple in several communities across the United States and Canada, and have been serving our customers' needs since 1965. With a catalog of equipment that spans the spectrum of almost every kind of solution you can think of. To learn more about Herc Rentals, visit hercrentals.com or call us at 1-888-777-2700.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! A deep ball here that's caught and going all the way to the end zone. Steelers Showcase presented by Giant Eagle with the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Happy Friday evening to you with Arthur Moats, Matt Fargo, Susie Cool down on the sidelines, our entire JRM Video Productions crew bringing you high school football on this Friday night. An illegal procedure penalty against the Planets, moving them further out of orbit.
I like how the referees are making themselves felt a little bit early tonight. I like it. Let's go.
Not too much, though.
Not too much.
First down 15. Uriznik into the belly of Aiden Yoakum, and nothing available. This North Hills defense is swarming. Brody Deal on the tackle this time for the Indians.
The Indians are playing downhill on defense, physical, and making sure that they're not allowing a lot of yards after contact, which is going to be important in a night like tonight versus this Mars offense.
Indians, we mentioned 0-2, losses a 28-23 heartbreaker to Hempfield, is now dialing this one up and overcooked it incomplete. Trying to connect there with Gabe Hine. But to finish the point there, 28-23 loss to Hempfield in week 0, and then lost to Seneca Valley 38-10 last week.
Definitely want to make sure that they don't have that happen again tonight, but it's going to really depend on them not having those self-inflicted turnovers that has seemed to plague this team, unfortunately.
Go to the left side this time, and Gabe Hine hauls this pass in. Comes up a little gimpy there as he goes over to the far sideline, and it's fourth down, and North Hills going to force the Planets to punt back-to-back possessions to open up this first quarter here at home.
I say early on, even though it hasn't been perfect for North Hills, they've played this game predominantly where they want to be in terms of Mars being backed up, and then even for them offensively, getting up to the midfield area where they're still winning the field position battle.
Uriznik gets off a great punt this time, and it will be fair caught for North Hills. Justice Green on the fair catch, where the Indians will take over 1st and 10. Take a look at the Post-Gazette Power Rankings. 4A Power Rankings, defending champs TJ and McKeesport squaring up. Talked about that in the pregame show. Quips in action again, and there you see Mars at 2-0. It's pretty good at 4A this year.
I was looking at this 4A like, man, who do you like the most in there? I mean, obviously TJ, we know what they did a year ago, but McKeesport, we talked about them in Keymon Spell. We know Aliquippa is always tough to deal with, and we're talking about a 2-0 Mars team right now that's looking good this year.
And McCarthy calls his own number this time, and he's the second leading rusher on this team through 2 weeks, and you can see he's dynamic in when he gets some blocking, which I think is what they're trying to build cohesion with that offensive front for the Indians.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be really important for those guys up front. You talk about Sonny Cheatham Brooks, obviously Alexander Brackham. Those guys in the front in terms of the O-line, they're the guys that have to provide that spark, have to provide those running lanes and the protection, because we know Kelly is a very dynamic player, but he has to have that time to utilize his talents.
Second down 5 from the 45, and handed off to Israel Armstead, and Izzy has a North Hills first down to the 38.
Yeah, and that was a really nice inside run, following the interior lineman as well. Nolan Kellum, the senior, or the center, and the right guard, Alexander Bracken, who we just mentioned, providing a nice running lane for him right there, and nice pickup for the first down.
Yeah, this is what happens. You shout out the offensive line, and then they know.
You got to give them some love. Listen, the big guys need to have their name called as well. We can't just only focus on quarterbacks, receivers, and running backs, all right?
First down at 10 for the Indians. 2:17, clock winds here in our opening quarter. Steelers Showcase, week 3 across the WPIAL. McCarthy from the gun. Looks near side. He's going to test it down the near numbers and overshoot his intended receiver. Incomplete. Justice Green, the junior. A long list of Greens. They got family lineage here, Arthur. 4 brothers. John was a quarterback. His dad, a great guy that has really bred a family of great North Hills football players. Julius graduated last year. He plays at Mercyhurst now, and they also have a little one, 10 years old, so he'll be coming up through the program.
Listen,
in
if
a
you're
few
out
years.
here, you know what you say? It's a family affair. It's a family affair.
That's the first time we got Moats singing up here.
Listen, I'm excited to be here, man. We got beautiful football on a beautiful night in Western Pennsylvania. You can't beat this.
That was good. That was pretty good. I was feeling it.
Stop! Don't do that now. Don't do that.
That's good.
Look, my job is I provide the nice color over here. Okay, don't let me get the singing in here. They're gonna start turning away. We want to keep the views up. All right?
That's the first quarter. If you're doing this, I'm gonna stick around to find out what you're gonna do in the fourth.
Come on now. As long as this game keeps going like that, you'll get a lot more. Okay.
3rd down, 9 coming up here for North Hills. Ball at the 37-yard line. Offensive time of possession heavily favored in the Indians' direction. McCarthy back to pass. Steps up, going to take off with it. McCarthy using his legs one more time. Going to come up 2 yards shy of the line to gain, but it's going to make it a really interesting 4th down as McCarthy picks himself up after getting upended.
Yeah, Zach Dental with a very, very physical open field tackle. You see, obviously, Kelly a little bit slow to get up, but this is what you want to see, man, if you're that Mars defense. Find a way to get him down in the open field. Don't allow him to get that 1st down. And now it sets up a 4th and 2 to 3, but we will see how that Mars defense attacks this North Hills offense.
4th down it is. They went for the field goal attempt last drive. This time they'll go for it. From under center will McCarthy go. First time, and we get whistles and a timeout asked for and granted by Brody Zangaro in this North Hills squad. And, you know, the story that is Brody Zangaro taking over for North Hills, an interim opportunity. Actually, the Steelers Showcase was here on his debut in the postseason game last year. Pat Carey, longtime head coach, has been the head coach since 2013 here at North Hills. Of course, played for and was coaching under legendary Jack McCurry. Now Brody Zangaro kind of gets thrown into the fire into that playoff game last year. They lose a heartbreaker to Franklin Regional by 1. And now he gets the interim job. And he comes from a great list of, he played at John Carroll. He played under or coached under Duke John Core at Avonworth. It's really a good story about a young guy who started his career at 23 years old as a coordinator at Avonworth. Now here he is as a head coach getting his chance.
I mean, when you talk about taking advantage of your opportunities, that is what Coach has done. I mean, and even when you're looking at this right here, obviously it's not the start to the season that he wants, but he has a Mars defense on its heels right now, potentially getting a chance to get this 1st down in the red zone. So let's see if he can get his team to ultimately capitalize on this position.
Option play, McCarthy keeps McCarthy as the 1st down and more. He'll lower his shoulder. The ball comes out and rolls out of bounds. But it will be a 1st down for the North Hills Indians at the 11-yard line into the red zone.
That's the type of run you want to see from Kelly McCarthy right there. But I would also have to point out Jonell Edison, number 5, with a very nice block on the perimeter to ultimately spring him. And then from there, you see the speed, you see the wheels, ball comes out, but shout out to the sideline, so that way you don't have to worry about losing possession right there.
Yeah, Steely McBean was on the scene there as well to recover that out of bounds.
He always has good awareness. Good ball security, too. Shout out to Steely.
Strong guy, so I hear. Jet motion. They give it to Austin Ellis at the Wildcat quarterback position. He spins inside the 5. He's down to the 2. And it will be 2nd down and 1. They can get a 1st down to make an end goal situation. But that's the way this first quarter will come to a close. And North Hills have given the Planets everything they can handle in their home opener in 2025, the Steelers High School Showcase. Game of the week Quarter number 2, presented by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. When we come back to Martorelli, stick around.
Need construction or real estate services? One call covers it all. Macero Construction Group, helping shape the city you love and the name behind Pittsburgh's skyline. We manage construction for many local schools, ensuring strong foundations for the future. Need space? Macero Properties has prime office and warehouse locations in the airport corridor and downtown. And when disaster strikes, Macero Restoration is ready 24/7. One name, one call. Macero Construction Group, building Pittsburgh, serving you.
To UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
A fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life, world-renowned surgeons.
Primary care sports medicine physicians.
Board-certified physical therapists.
A comprehensive multidisciplinary assessment to evaluate for concussion.
Nutrition.
Athletic training.
Sports performance.
Everything is right here that you need. So we deliver that right to you.
Welcome in everybody to Martorelli Stadium here in North Hills, and it's an even game going into that second quarter. 0-0, North Hills Indians holding host to the Mars Fighting Planets. I'm Susie Cool, and right now I'm joined by new Steelers running back Kenneth Gainwell. Kenneth, first of all, welcome to Pittsburgh.
Thank you.
First impressions, I know that you've played here maybe in the past a little bit, but I mean, you're fully engulfed here now, so first impressions.
It's homing. But I'm loving it, you know, and it's great. It's great also.
You grew up in Mississippi. This is your first time out at a Friday Night Lights game in Pittsburgh. So, I mean, how does this experience compare?
This experience is going good, man. The guys out here on the field is showing exactly the reason why it's called Friday Night Lights, and I'm loving it so far. You know, they showing good things on the field. They playing hard, and, you know, hopefully we can get a score in the second quarter.
What was your experience like in Mississippi playing high school football?
It was electric. Just know that every time I stepped on the field, it was electric. And it was great. It was hard working, and you know, I appreciate everybody on my team from then. And you know, we're going.
You have to give some of these guys out here advice tonight. What's one piece of advice you're going to give them?
Man, just keep working hard. Keep working hard. The opportunity and the chance will come.
Thanks so much, Kenneth. Matt, Arthur.
Susie, thank you. Thanks to Kenneth Gainwell for being here from the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he would appreciate that play as we take another look at it on the UPMC Sports Medicine Instant Replay. Going lateral, when you get so close, inside the 5, lateral sometimes bodes problems.
Well, and North Hills early on in this game have been doing a good job of giving multiple looks, but when the field gets condensed, you do have to attack this team downhill, and we'll see if they can have enough power to do that.
Third down, McCarthy throws back of the end zone, caught by Lutz in the back of the end zone for the North Hills touchdown. Joey Lutz, Indians on the board here at home first.
And that was a really, really nice play right there by Kelly McCarthy, holding that ball just a little bit so that way Joey Lutz could clear those linebackers. And then you see the beautiful hands catch plus the twinkle toes right here on the replay. Nice job, though, by Kelly in command, holding the safety. And then from there, Joey Lutz back of the end zone. Second receiving touchdown of the season as well for number 33. Nice play for the North Hills Indians to get them on the board first.
Greenland 3 for 3 for PATs on the season, make it 4 for 4 as Andrew Greenland puts it through the pole. It's neon night here in Martorelli, and right now the Indians shining bright in the second quarter, up 7-0. Come back with us. All presented to you by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Stick around, Showcase rolls on.
I think this is a model institution. You are a point of pride here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. You understand that going to college is also about what you do after college and making sure you are arming your students with the opportunity to have the skills they need to go out and chart their own path to success in their futures.
A house is just 4 walls, but a home? That's something more. At Your Town Realty, we don't just work here, we live here. We're small by choice, with deep roots and real relationships that go beyond transactions. And because this city means so much to us, we give back. year after year. It's not about being the biggest. It's about being the one that feels like home. Your Town Realty, locally owned, community grown.
College isn't for everyone. But from pay to training to retirement, Pennsylvania Laborers Union members live better. PA Laborers Union offers a great wage potential of $42 per hour and terrific health benefits. Imagine having 0 student loans while receiving state-of-the-art construction training. Join the team and get mentorship and guidance from experienced members. Go now to laborparecruit.com for more information.
To UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
A fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life, world-renowned surgeons,
primary care sports medicine physicians,
board-certified physical therapists,
A comprehensive multidisciplinary assessment to evaluate for concussion,
nutrition,
athletic training,
sports performance.
Everything is right here that you need. We deliver that right to you.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Herc Rentals, Kelly Automotive, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Mars student section, all decked out in black and gold. North Hills band striking up a tune. It's a great Friday night at Martorelli. This is one of the best places to watch a high school football game. And you love to see Mars showing out in the black and gold.
Listen, it feels like home seeing all that black and gold over there. I saw Troy Polamalu. I saw Batman Cam. It was beautiful.
Bobbled around here, picked up at the 15-yard line. And across the 20 to the 22, where Mars will have the football 1st and 10. Tabassi on the return for the Planets.
Yeah. The one thing that I will say, though, about Mars, they better pick it up, man, because when you look at how North Hills right now has a lot of momentum, they just had the nice touchdown drive. You dropped the kickoff, so now you're starting once again backed up. You're not really having a lot of positive things happening for North Hills, or excuse me, for Mars early on from an offensive perspective.
1st down, 10 for the Planets. Will they go to? It will be the ground game in Yoakum. Yoakum lost the football. North Hill says they have it, and they do. Indians football coming away with it. John L. Edison, the junior, on the recovery.
And I believe that was 33 that forced the fumble as well, Joey Letts. Can't wait to see on the replay right here. Obviously, we talked about how North Hills has been starting this game off and everything is kind of going their way. But right there, for them to get that turnover on this side of the ball or on this side of the field, you can't ask for a better start for Coach Brody. But right there, Joey Letts gets his hands on that football, forces it out, and then from there you do see Janelle Edison finding a way to get that ball, get that recovery, and setting up the North Hills Indians with beautiful field position following that previous touchdown drive.
How big is the junior coming up? You mentioned earlier about the pick six, now a fumble recovery that will put North Hills in great field position again, dominating the time of possession in this game to this point. They have a injured Planet down on the far sideline. It's a North Hills Indian that's injured, and let's check in with Susie down on the sideline.
Thanks, Matt. Newfound running back John L. Edison has been a bright spot for the North Hills Indians this season. Interim head coach Brody Zangaro said Edison was a receiver last year, but wanted to move the junior to the backfield to make sure the ball was in his hands more often. And Edison has not disappointed. Through the first 2 games of the year, Zangaro said Edison is getting the ball 15 to 20 times a game. He's showing balance, vision, toughness, and the running back is dynamic every time he has the ball. Matt?
Oh, I think the junior having a great start to this one for sure, and we are going to step aside as the medics have been called out to the field, and we will take a look at who is down for North Hills and tell you about that when we come back.
Have a nice day, family.
What would they do without me?
Can someone fix my hair?
Must have cheesy eggs.
I can't find my keys.
No! Never! I'm the king of
Oh, I need some help.
I better get more life insurance.
You're irreplaceable, but a life insurance policy from GBU Life can provide your family with the resources for a well-planned future. Visit gbu.org to get started.
Fall is in the air at Pittsburgh's premier outdoor shopping, dining, and play destination, the Waterfront. Find fall weather gear at retailers like Old Navy, DSW, and Rally House. Dine at family-friendly restaurants like Primanti Brothers, Shorty's Tap and Taco, and more. Experience indoor playtime at Dave & Buster's, Urban Air, and more. Speaking of play, the Waterfront is a proud sponsor of this Steel City High School football broadcast and happy to support WPIAL football across our region. Visit us at waterfrontpgh.com for more information.
Welcome to La Roche University, where experience isn't just a buzzword, it's a way of life.
At La Roche, our students thrive by putting their ideas into action.
So we came in today just kind of getting a general idea of valuing a model and how it is done in actual real-life time.
I think what they're doing in La Roche with the applied learning has a lot of value for the students. They're able to see the real-world numbers come to life, and that has a lot of impact for them.
La Roche University, engaging minds, embracing the world.
Quiet on set? No way. This is Jake's time to shine, and Ryan's, and our crew. Cameras, check. Drones, check. Checking that shot we just checked? Double check. We ain't got time to chill. We're out here capturing this action. This is when we get to work, to bring you every moment live, no matter what. Broadcasting changes everything. Transform how you experience the game with JRM Video Production.
Get all your Steelers gear direct from the team. Shop the Steelers Pro Shop in-store or online for all things black and gold. You can get jerseys, hats, authentic memorabilia, custom gear, and exclusives you can't find anywhere else. And of course, get the ultimate Steelers game day accessory, the Terrible Towel. Steelers Nation shops here. Get your gear in-store or online at shop.steelers.com.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! A deep ball here that's caught and going all the way to the end zone!
Turkey's in season at Eaton Park. Whether you're craving it hot, stacked, Pittsburgh style, or served up with all the fixings, we've got you covered. Starting at just $10.99. Add a slice of pumpkin pie to any of these favorites for only $1.99. Only at Eaton Park.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
Have a nice day, family.
What would they do without me?
Can someone fix my hair? Must have cheesy eggs.
I can't find my keys.
No! Annoying! Never! I'm the king of the
Oh, I need some help.
I better get more life insurance.
You're irreplaceable, but a life insurance policy from GBU Life can provide your family with the resources for a well-planned future. Visit gbu.org to get started.
Back here to North Hills, the athletic training and medical staff working on junior Jaleel McKinley-Jones. We watched on the replay, ankle injury, and obviously not going to show it, but medical staff out to attend to him. And it's the worst part of the game, and both teams, fans, everybody quiet here at Martorelli as our thoughts with Jaleel, who's an all-conference player a season ago. And
I mean, extremely productive player. And even this season, he came into this game having 18 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. And it's just unfortunate, so early in this game for him to go down with a significant injury like he did. But what I will say is this, the sportsmanship. Got to tip our hat, man. Mars, it happened on their sideline. Mars was one of the first people to actually just, acknowledge that, hey, man, this guy's down and get their staff out there. And obviously now everybody's working on him and stuff. So hopefully he'll get healthy sooner rather than later.
Yeah, of course, the great medical and athletic training staffs of both teams out there, and the paramedics as well. But for what we tend to maybe lose sight of at times is, these are teenagers and they only get 4 years at this, and neither side likes to see anybody go down.
No, absolutely. And at this level, it's different than when you're talking professionals. Professionals get hurt. You're not worried about class. You got your own training staff. Everybody's right there. It's easily to accommodate. But we know at this level, it does have a little bit more of an impact. It's going to affect this kid in terms of how he recovers, in terms of what other seasons he might be preparing for. And that's the part mentally that is always tough whenever you see a kid get hurt like this at this level. But hopefully he'll have some good people around him to just keep him motivated and keep his spirits up as he works through that recovery process.
So a step aside as they continue to tend to him and make sure he's comfortable, get him the care that he needs, and we'll come back here on KDKA+.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
Stay connected with all the action. Follow JRM Sports on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Get the latest highlights, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes moments from your favorite sports. Don't miss a second. Follow us today.
This Friday, the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, presented by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, features Bethel Park as the Blackhawks take on the West Mifflin Titans Friday at 7 on KDKA+.
Need construction or real estate services? One call covers it all. Macero Construction Group, helping shape the city you love and the name behind Pittsburgh's skyline. We manage construction for many local schools, ensuring strong foundations for the future. Need space? Macero Properties has prime office and warehouse locations in the airport corridor and downtown. And when disaster strikes, Macero Restoration is ready 24/7. One name, one call. Macero Construction Group, building Pittsburgh, serving you.
A deep ball here that's caught and going all the way to the end zone.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
Thanks for fixing the door.
I was nervous about that lock.
To your family, you are more than just your income.
What would she do without me? She'd probably have to marry our next-door neighbor, Todd.
Well, Todd, I have no feelings for you whatsoever, but I'm going to have to say I do. I can't afford a handyman.
Better get some life insurance.
Although you're irreplaceable, a life insurance policy from GBU Life can provide the financial security your family needs for a secure future. To get started, visit gbu.org.
My favorite thing to buy at Giant Eagle is sourdough bread.
This is hard because I have really good things to say. I love the fresh produce. I love the fresh meat.
I'm pretty sure the fish guy knows me by now. We're buds.
I love to grill. That alone keeps me coming back.
We love the fact that we have the My Perks program.
The people that work here are so nice and so helpful.
They are always very friendly, especially Pam.
Everybody loves the cakes from Giant Eagle.
This is my Giant Eagle.
A house is just 4 walls, but a home, that's something more. At Your Town Realty, we don't just work here, we live here. We're small by choice, with deep roots and real relationships that go beyond transactions. And because this city means so much to us, we give back. year after year. It's not about being the biggest. It's about being the one that feels like home. Your Town Realty, locally owned, community grown.
Welcome back here to Martorelli Stadium. The medical staff has got junior Jaleel McKinley-Jones onto the stretcher, suffering a what we believe to be a lower body injury, and they're being carted off now.
Giving a thumbs up, though, and you can hear the crowd responding to him. A lot of support for him tonight, man. A lot of support.
Yeah, I was talking to former middle school assistant Khalil Reeves during that break, and he told me McKinley-Jones, great player, coached him in middle school. They were 9-0 undefeated. He played DN in his 8th grade year and had so many high hopes going into high school. He's a junior, and obviously our thoughts and prayers with him and his recovery as he gets carted off here this evening. Wanted to take a look, always the tough part to segue back to the game, as these teenagers have to do that, compartmentalize and put this thing back between the white lines. Let's take a look at some scores from around the WPIAL. Avonworth up early over Aliquippa at the pit, 3-0. North Hills just a 7-0 lead over Penn Hills. McKeesport trailing TJ just by 3. Bell Vernon leads Central Valley 10-3. There's a surprise. A couple of these. Elwood City up on top of Neshannock 14-0, and Peters Township, they're doing what they're doing.
Absolutely.
14-0.
Roll it.
As McCarthy is pulled down in the backfield, Zach Dentel stepping up for the Planets.
Zach Dentel, nice job reading, reacting, and ultimately shooting the gap and making a nice TFL right there. This is one of the hardest things, though, man, as a player. When you see one of your guys go down, or when you see an opponent go down for as long as that was, to get back fired up, to get back ready to go. And you see right here with Zach Dentel, didn't waste any time. First play, TFL. He's letting Mars know we cannot allow any more points to be scored right now.
Second quarter action. North Hills leads 7-0. An amazing catch for North Hills. Joey Lutz, the difference. McCarthy. And there comes the flag on the hold, and McCarthy knows it's coming. He just throws it to the far boundary as the holding call will be moving this one back, and everybody in the stadium saw that habeas gravis.
Yeah, I like when I see a pass rusher take the inside move. Ryan Walker right there, ultimately forcing Sonny Cheatham Brooks to have to hold. And it's unfortunate, like you said, when you're talking about North Hills, because they have really nice field position. But this is a self-inflicted issue right here that's ultimately going to march them back and make it a little bit more challenging to capitalize on that turnover.
I believe it to be one of the most difficult parts of this game is for an offensive lineman, a teenager in high school football, when the quarterback starts scrambling and you don't know where he is, to not know whether you should continue holding your block or disengaging, or you have your back to all the action.
Absolutely. It's definitely a field thing. And like I said, man, whenever you see guys take the inside move like we saw right there from Ryan Walker, it just makes it that much more challenging as well for those young offensive linemen.
Cheatham Brooks, a big guy, 6'3", 300 pounds. And they matched up pretty well to this point against a Mars offensive and defensive front that returns nearly everybody. 7 starters both sides of the ball for the Planets. 4 linemen return on both sides. McCarthy, design play, does get out of some trouble there for a second, and then is pulled down. Gabe Hine for the Planets on the tackle on that far boundary, and McCarthy really trying to make something out of nothing and able to just lose 2 instead of 5.
Yeah, good job minimizing the damage, but on the flip side, the Sacred Heart commit, Gabe Hine, ultimately shooting that thing down and making sure that he made it another tackle for loss and setting up a third and extremely long for the North Hills Indians offense.
Hine touted as the receiver, but still pretty impressive on the defensive side of the football.
It'll be interesting to see how North Hills tries to play this right here. I would anticipate some type of draw or even screen just because of how far back they are, but they're ultimately going to try to be getting themselves in at least a more manageable field goal situation.
We get a timeout taken here with 9:20 to go in our second quarter, 7-0. North Hills has the early advantage. Mars student section all decked out, and we're going to check downstairs with Susie Cole.
Thanks, Matt. Mars head coach Eric Kasparovich admitted that stopping Bethel Park's offense last week was no easy task. However, his defense truly rose to the occasion. Coach Kasper said his front seven, especially his linebackers, are playing really well right now. And the difference between good teams and great teams is being unselfish and executing the overall plan. Coach Kasper said his team is doing that right now, and it showed against Bethel, and we're seeing sparks of it tonight. Matt?
We are, and it's won and lost in the trenches. We talk about it every week.
Whoever can win and control the line of scrimmage is usually going to have a better chance of success.
Third down, 26 for North Hills. Ball at the 41-yard line.
I'd anticipate some type of QB run with Austin Ellis back there.
And they go jet motion. It's a pass now as McCarthy got it on the jet motion and will throw it here to the near side. Incomplete, intended for Mathis. Mars not fooled by a little bit of trickeration from Brody Zangaro.
Now, North Hills, they've went to this a couple of times, and they've had success bringing in Austin Ellis. This time they gave it on the handoff back to the original quarterback, Kelly McCarthy. But like you said, Mars was not fooled defensively and ultimately did a good job of forcing the punt.
That, for Steeler fans, always reminiscent of Antoine Randall to Hines Ward, Super Bowl 40.
Now you're speaking my language, baby. Now you are speaking my language.
Fourth down, 26. Punt unit out for the Indians. It's Joey Lentz doing the punting duties. A rush is on, and it's blocked. Picked up by the Planets, and Mars has something cooking.
I believe that was Chris Rashia with the recovery. I would like to see who made that actual block, though.
I think it might have been Chris.
It was multiple guys back there as well. I mean, that was the beautiful part. You could tell by the timing of the snap and just the catch by Lutz. It was just a little bit off, and from there, 1, 2, 3, 4 people back there.
And it was Zach Dentel on the block.
And Zach's been having a very productive night. And like you said, if you're Mars, this is finally the first positive thing to go your way all night. You finally got the ball on the opposing side of the field. Let's see what they can capitalize on this field position.
See what Eric Kasparovich dials up. coordinator for this Mars squad. They go to the run game and nothing available. Nico Thomas playing in reserve for Jaleel McKinley-Jones. He took his spot, and how about the sophomore coming up to make a big play?
Listen, they say next man up when we're talking Pittsburgh Steelers. Nico Thomas just showed that right there with a nice read and reaction on this outside zone play, shooting the gap, nice TFL, and I love the passion. Look at the passion on this kid, man. This is what you want to see on a night like tonight.
Hine gets the end around to the right side, and great containment by the North Hills defense. Shut the door one more time. It's C.J. Harris this time.
Mars is flirting with a bad situation right now. They've allowed this North Hills defense to have a lot of confidence. They've obviously allowed them offensively to put points on the board, and now this is turning into a real ball game right here.
Third down, 15. Planets got great field position, started North Hills territory, but have gone backwards on this drive and now face this 3rd and 15 ball at the 45-yard line as Eric Kasparovich wants to talk this over. And Eric Kasparovich back at North Hills. He was an Indian back in the day. And what an electrifying player he was. A quarterback of their 1993 WPIL Quad A champs and the state champs in 93. Took down Central Bucks West. And he was an impressive one. Of course, when you're throwing to one of the all-time greats, it makes things a lot easier. But he was one heck of a football player.
You see it right there, parade All-American. For those that don't know, that's the tip of the top, the cream of the crop right there. And obviously you look at the production, his ability to lead a team to a state championship. Also, while being the main guy doing all this over here on the field. I mean, you love to see that right there at the quarterback position. And now for him to come back and provide that leadership from the coaching standpoint, granted it's against his old squad, but it's still beautiful to see.
Yeah, and doing it with guys, 4 of those guys going to college football. Of course, LeVar Arrington was on that squad.
You might have heard of that guy before.
But Kasparovich, the hero in the state championship in 1993, 2-point conversion with 30 seconds to win the state title. Screen pass set up on 3rd down to Hine. Nothing available and incomplete. It's 4th down for the Planets.
It looks like they're forcing another punt. Like you said, if you're Coach Brody and you're North Hills, you have to feel extremely good with how everything is played out thus far in this game.
Of course, for Eric, he then entered the coaching ranks, was a coach at Pine Richland, 4-time WPIAL champ with the Rams. Of course, the controversy around his departure, and then spent a year under Pat Narduzzi as a volunteer assistant at Pitt before taking the job at Mars. As this return now for North Hills, Justice Green and the Indians get the football back, have a 7-0 lead, and I think from, maybe it's not style points, but for North Hills, this is going to a script that they can certainly be happy with.
Absolutely. If you're watching North Hills for the first time this year, you would not know they are 0-2. You would not know they got beat last week by Seneca Valley 38-10. They look really good tonight in terms of being well coached, in terms of their tackling, the physicality, but also you're seeing them take advantage of some of the opportunities that have presented themselves. Now, let's see if they can find a way to get some more points while they still got some time in the second quarter.
1st down, 10 for North Hills. Mark McCarthy goes back to work, and he'll go to the ground game. Handing it off on 1st down, they give it off to Izzy Armstead. Picks up a couple. 2nd down coming up, and talking with Coach Kasper, he says he likes to look at the offense or the defensive side of the ball like the Pitt defense. He says, I'm now a part of the Narduzzi coaching tree.
Absolutely,
so
he
they've
is.
implemented a lot of things that he learned at the University of Pittsburgh.
Well, when you think about that Pitt defense and how many of those guys have actually been able to transition to the next level, the NFL level, clearly they're doing something right there from a defensive standpoint. And if Coach Kasper is able to implement that with this Mars team as well, look out.
Edison gets the call this time and picks up a couple more to the 26, where it will be 3rd down, maybe the 27 give them.
And nice job right here, man. Once again, who are we seeing? Ethan Krasinski. We talked about it, man. A productive player on that Mars defense and a guy that you're going to be hearing a lot of. Let's see what he can do on this 3rd down to disrupt what North Hills is going to be trying to do on offense.
3rd down and 3, and North Hills pretty successful on these 3rd and shorts. McCarthy, designed run for him. Going to try to get to the boundary, stretches for the 1st down. He's going to be about 1.5 yards short. It'll be 4th down, and it will be decision time for Brody Zangaro in his young head coaching career. And it looks like the punt unit is going out, of course, keeping in mind the last one was blocked.
Absolutely. Let's see if they can have a little bit better situation in terms of the execution with the snap and the catch by Joey Lutz tonight.
Lutz is back. Hine back to receive it. This time not as much of a rush and a good punt. Fair catch called for, granted at the 35. So the Planets get right back to work offensively. 5:25 before we send it to the show, halftime show. Susie Kuhl, Colin Johnov will break it all down this first half. And all of the exciting news around the WPIAL.
And I'm interested to see now when Mars comes out. It's 5 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. They haven't really had any type of consistency on offense. Is it time to lean on Aiden Yoakum? We obviously saw him last week, man, what he was able to do. Or do they actually allow Colin to start to sling this thing around? Because we know he has, 4 touchdowns through the air, and he does a good job of protecting the ball with only 1 interception on the season thus far.
1st down at 10. We will find out as Hine was in motion. Back to pass. Uriznik overshot, incomplete. Uriznik, a sophomore. Now, this was a quarterback battle in camp. 3 sophomores battling it out. The backup quarterback this year was Nate Walker. Last year, he came in for the injured quarterback a season ago, led the team to the WPIL semifinals, but ended up losing the battle to Uriznik in camp.
Yeah, that's always a tough thing, man, when you're talking about making those type of decisions in camp when you obviously seen a guy have success in games a year prior to. But this is where you have to trust the coach and trust his judgment in these decisions.
They go back to the ground game, pick up 2. 3rd down coming up here for the Planets. 5-minute mark of this second quarter, 7-0 North Hills.
Yeah, and it's interesting, man. When you're looking at North Hills defensively, when they keep getting attacked in the middle of the field, that's where they seem to be their strongest. But on the perimeter, they're doing a good enough job of keeping Mars honest, and that's why this game has been so close from an offensive standpoint for Mars.
Back to pass. Uriznik on the money to Hine. Hine pulled down at the 35-yard line. 1st down, Planets.
Just was talking about this. When they put the ball through the air, that gives them their better chance, a better opportunity. And when you talk about Gabe Hine, we know what he's able to do from a receiving standpoint. Extremely tough to cover one-on-one. Nice catch across the middle of the field. And now you got Mars knocking on the door.
The confidence level of Uriznik just went through the roof. That embrace with Hine after the pass and catch. Now they go back to the ground game. Off the right side, ball popped loose. North Hills has the football again! Another turnover! And right now the Indians pouncing on loose footballs. And they come up with it again, this time on the fumble recovery. It was Nick Richter, the junior.
You remember how last year's game went, right?
Sure do.
Are we not getting a little bit of that right here when you're talking about the self-inflicted wounds by Mars, but more importantly, North Hills capitalizing on it? They're not allowing these balls that are fumbled to be recovered by Mars. No, they're making sure that they're the first ones to the pile to get that ball, and that's the hustle and that's the excitement that you're seeing right now. And they got another opportunity to go up 2 scores before the half, which would be extremely good for this North Hills Indians team's confidence.
There's no doubt that Mars has been bit by the turnover bug this season. They had 4 last week in the win against Bethel Park. You're not going to lose the turnover battle much and still find a way to win. And the defense trying to step up, and they have McCarthy all bottled up. Everybody was in on that one. McCarthy slow to get up.
I say Nico Thomas leading the charge, though. Man, we've called his name a little bit tonight as well. But right here, you see, obviously, with the quarterback trying to use some of his mobility with the play fake and then obviously running. But from here, Nico Thomas not fooled in the least bit, shoots the gap, ultimately getting a big tackle for loss, and has this Mars defense fired up.
Marvin Jamison also in on that fun. McCarthy, after the play action, looked up and saw Jamison in his grill and said, oh boy, this is not going to end well. 2nd down, 17 from the 21. Empty set, Ellis in at quarterback. Keeps. And they'll carry forward for a 2-yard pickup, 3rd down already coming up. And, you know, for as much as Mars has turned the football over, we mentioned those 4 turnovers last week. Bethel Park still only scored 13 points. Now you've already seen 2 in this game, and they're a play away from getting the ball back. The defense is certainly keeping Mars in games despite their offense coughing up the bill.
You're absolutely right, and that's the true testament to that Mars defense. It has been led by Coach Casper, but on the flip side, when you're talking about North Hills, they have to find some continuity on that offense. They have to find something that they can go to and feel confident with. They're doing the 2 quarterback thing on occasion, but it looks like Mars is starting to pick up on that a little bit now.
3rd down, and they keep it pretty vanilla there.
I mean, when it was 3rd and forever the way that they just had it, sometimes that is your best call. A draw, minimize the damage, play the field position game.
Looks like that's what they're going to do as Lutz comes back out to punt. Lutz, coming into tonight, had 7 punts. This is his 4th tonight.
Outside of the mishandled snap, he's been pretty productive, though, punting that football all season long. I think his average is around 36, 37 yards, and that's what you're seeing tonight as well when they've had the execution the right way.
Yeah, along of 41 in the season. He had that great punt, the first one of the
he went down inside the 5, I think it was, right?
Yes, yeah, and that really kind of, that first script for offense, for the Mars offense, when you're back against your own goal line, that script, you might end up throwing that in the trash and go, okay, we need to just possess the football.
Get a first down,
yeah.
Don't turn it over, no safeties. That becomes the mindset when the offense is backed up, and defensively, you saw how aggressive they were. Don't allow a first down, and you're going to win the field position battle. We saw the TFL to start the series off. They end up forcing a punt, and that's why the whole first half, the game's predominantly been played in Mars defensive territory. And that's the part for North Hills where it's just a field position game. So even though they haven't been able to execute on all of these advantages that have bounced their ways in terms of the turnovers, they've still been able to minimize Mars' offense's attack because they're so backed up every time.
Great aerial look at Martorelli. Aerial coverage tonight brought to you by GBU Life. Protect what matters now. Lutz. Fair catch. Hines secures. And another crack at it for the Mars offense in the 142. And Mars needs to find some continuity on offense. That's what they're missing right now. I mean, 42 points in the win against Beaver back in week 0. They spoiled the party out there in Beaver County. And then on the road again, Bethel Park. I mean, road warriors these Planets are. Haven't had a home game yet this year.
And when you think about it, last year they were road warriors as well, going 5-1 in all their away games. So you know they're feeling confident in terms of their ability to win on the road, but they need to find something to give them some type of optimism going into the half.
Riznik throwing to the far side. It completes his pass. Pass completed to Hunter Schroeder.
And that was finally a good first down play for them. Up until then, they've been backed up on that second down play, but now let's see how aggressive they can be.
And that one bobbled and incomplete. Had an opportunity to secure it. Smythe Dunaway, the intended receiver, could not reel it in. Third down quickly here for the Planets.
Yeah, good read by Colin. I like the throw. Hits him right in the hands. Unfortunately, not able to secure the catch, but that's once again another variation of a self-inflicted wound that Mars has been doing to themselves all night.
Riznik on a 3rd and 3 from the 44. Picks up the ball from the turf, fires, got his man, and they went right back to Dunaway, and this time he secures it and a first down for those Fighting Planets.
And that's a good sign of the trust that Colin has in Smythe. We obviously saw him drop the previous play, but him to come back right here. Foot in the ground, 3-step, nice stop route, get the first down. That's what you want to see right there.
This play blown dead by the officials. Flag is down.
Looks like we got a little pre-snap false start once again. Mars self-inflicted.
Make it first down at 15. Ball rests now at the 47. Minute 10 to play. Riznik, time, gonna take off with it this time and wrestled down just shy of the midfield stripe. Justice Green on the tackle.
The Indians defense is doing a really good job of keeping the ball in front of them. Outside of that one play from Gabe Hine that we saw, they've done a really good job of not allowing any explosives through the air.
Back to pass. Riznik, he steps up, another flag comes flying in, and he's brought down at the midfield stripe. C.J. Harris on the tackle, and we'll check with the officials on the laundry. We're asking Brody Zangaro. Harris is slow to get up right now for the Indians. Officials indicated injury timeout. Athletic training staff out to attend to Harris. And North Hills pitching a shutout in their home opener. Want to make sure they're keeping these key cogs on defense healthy.
And Christian Harris is certainly one of those players for them on defense.
And make sure you're following us on social media. Follow the Steelers Youth Football and JRM Sports on X, Instagram, and YouTube for exclusive content and real-time highlights. On-demand broadcasts available as well. Follow us. And make sure you're following us up here in the booth.
Hey now, at the Body 52.
At who is Matt Fargo or Matt Fargo, depending on your social media choice. Back up here in the broadcast booth. Arthur Moats, Matt Fargo, our JRM video production crew. Friday nights in North Hills. This is one of my favorite, certainly one of my favorite press boxes to call.
It's really roomy in here. I like this a lot. But a beautiful night and a beautiful shot of the moon. I mean, just look at that thing right there. This is what you want to be under, man, in Western Pennsylvania, baby. Couldn't ask for a better night for football.
And things can happen here as North Hills has the advantage in the waning moments of this first half. That pass completed again to Dunaway. Timeout taken by the Planets as we'll take another look at it on the UPMC Sports Medicine Instant Replay.
I mean, it's a good drop back, good throw right here. But once again, when we're talking situational ball, this is what you want to see from John L. Edison. Making the tackle, keeping them in bounds, keeping the clock running, or forcing Mars to use the timeout. But when you talk about why Mars continues to struggle offensively, this drive could have started as a 1st and 10, but what they do, pre-snap issue, backs them up 1st and 15, 2nd down, not the best, and now here you are at 3rd and 17 with 17 seconds left. That is it's very tough to get any type of rhythm, to have any type of success offensively when you keep starting your drives 1st and 15.
17 ticks to go, and now, Arthur, is there enough time to do something? We know what Eric Kasparovich's offenses have been capable in years past. Can they get that quick strike to try to knot things up before going to the locker room?
Well, the problem I see is what Coach Brody has over here with North Hills. They're situationally backing up, understanding, hey, we're not worried about the yardage per se right here. We are defending the time and 60 yards or 55 yards of football real estate right here.
Back to pass. Uriznik gonna let it fly. It is caught at the 25-yard line. Dunaway hauls it in. And the Planets with 10 seconds rush to the football. 1st and 10 from that 24, and they now down it with 8 seconds to play. It'll be 2nd down.
How you feeling tonight? I mean, you look at obviously right here from Colin, taking his time, waiting for his receiver to clear the number 33, and then from there, nice job going up and not just catching it, but surviving the big hit all the way to the ground for a big 1st down, and at least gives the Mars Planets an opportunity to take a shot at the end zone right here.
2nd down, 10. Hine in motion. Back to pass, Uriznik. Steps up, and he will go down. C.J. Harris wrestled him down to the 20 as time expires in the half. North Hills pitches a shutout in the first 24.
And I like what I'm seeing from C.J. Harris tonight. Obviously, you see him over there rushing against the right tackle. Once he realizes that Collins is trying to escape the pocket, you see him convert, cover back down, get on the quarterback, and get the big sack or the big tackle right there to ultimately end the first half.
Susie Cole's downstairs with Coach Zancaro. Susie.
Thanks, Matt. Coach, what's been the biggest factor in stopping Mars's offense so far?
We're pursuing the football like crazy. We're tackling really well. And anytime you take the ball away, that makes a big difference, right? So that gets us some momentum. And our kids are defeating blocks and tackling. That's what it's all about.
Any update on nose tackle Jaleel McKinley-Jones?
None that I can share. I just was out there being there for him. He's a heartbeat of our team, an unbelievable player, and we're just praying for him.
He's in our thoughts and prayers as well. We hope for a speedy recovery for him. Thanks, Coach. Matt?
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Susie, thank you. And, Coach Zancaro, he's coached in 4 games. 2 of them have been on the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week. That's pretty good. Maybe he'll find
we might be his good luck is what I'm thinking, all right? Because the way that this first half has went, especially when we talk about everything that was leading up to this game, this has been the perfect story for North Hills. I mean, obviously they would want to have capitalized on some of those turnovers and opportunities, but as a whole, 7-zip going into halftime with the lead over 2-0 Mars Planets, we'll take that.
No question. And for some here at North Hills, halftime is game time. North Hills band in a little bit, but we also have quite the show for you. It's the Shell Halftime Show when we come back to the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, and it's all presented to you by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. North Hills leads Mars 7-0 at the break. We're back to Martorelli after these words.
At Laway, we understand the power of personalization. From hats to water bottles, our expert services include screen printing, embroidery, and a variety of promotional items. We also specialize in team sports gear. What truly sets Laway apart is our dedicated design team, including our talented on-staff graphic designers and exponential customer service. Choose Laway to make a lasting impression on and off the field.
This is a meal. We're talking a good food that makes you feel good meal. You feeling that? Now meal this. A salad for the first time in a week meal. A catching up with your ex meal.
So, how's your mom?
Been there. Ooh, a scoring cool dad points meal.
Obviously.
Thank you. Do I spy an I need 5 minutes to myself meal? Whatever you're feeling, at Panera, it just meals good.
Relive your favorite moments at the Pittsburgh Steelers Hall of Honor Museum.
They really wore that back then, Grandpa?
Yeah, they really did.
Playing back then was tough, believe me.
Now this is the best era. Nobody could beat that dynasty.
I couldn't agree more. Those teams were unstoppable.
Now, I don't know about that, but the team was really good in the 90s.
Come on, you couldn't catch those teams of the 2000s. They went the distance, literally.
That's what I'm talking about! Yes!
The 70s are definitely the
no
best.
Way. The 2000s, hands down.
Whoa, guys, stop fighting. I think every era was pretty sweet.
You said it, kid. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves, and I hope to see you back here soon.
Wait, your tea?
Seems like a nice spot.
Back to Martorelli Stadium in North Hills. It is halftime with the North Hills Indians on their home opener of 2025. Lead the Mars Planets 7-0 at the break. The Shell Halftime Show lifts the lid here. Susie Cole and Colin Johnov will join us in just a little bit. But before we get there, we want to get to know Gabe Hine from the Mars Fighting Planets a little bit better. So let's do it now.
What's your Snapchat score?
I think maybe like 600,000.
What's at the top of your game day playlist?
Young boy.
What are your pregame superstitions or rituals?
Never eat a dinner before a game.
What's the story behind your jersey number?
When I was in youth, I liked James Conner, so I just stuck with it, and I wear it now.
Who do you look up to most?
My dad.
Who's the best Pittsburgh Steeler of all time?
Antonio Brown.
Where is the post-game meal spot in town?
For Manny's.
Best advice a coach or anyone ever gave you?
Everyone puts on the pads.
What's on your bucket list before graduation?
Winning a Whitfield championship.
What's your advice to younger football players that look up to you?
Just trust the process.
You're on TV. What do you want to say to your parents?
I love you both. Thank you for everything. This is Gabe Hine from Mars Area High School, and you're watching the Steelers High School Showcase on KDKA+. Tune in.
Always great to get to know these kids just a little bit better on a Friday night after we see them out there tearing it up on the field. But crazy enough, this was not what we were expecting from North Hills tonight against the Mars Fighting Planets. Again, welcome into the Shell Halftime Show alongside Colin Jonoff. I'm Susie Cole. Colin, North Hills with a 7-0 lead going into the second half of play. They're looking for that first win of the season. What's your take so far?
Yeah, I think they came out and played really inspired football. For a team that really didn't have an identity defensively, they came in and they said, we're going to stop the run, we're going to force Mars to throw the football. And Mars really hasn't had the opportunity, or I should say they haven't had the success that they would have liked. And North Hills really just impressed with the intensity and energy they came out with in the first half.
Yeah, and a little bit of a sloppy game as well. We'll get into that a little bit later, but right now it's time to take a look at something that we do each and every week on the Shell Halftime Show, the Jerome Bettis Award winner for the week. And this week we are highlighting Bethel Park linebacker Charles Simmons, who is a massive leader in his community and on the Blackhawks football team. Charles prides himself on integrity, inclusivity, and giving back to others. Charles is very active in his community at the Best Buddies Club, helping develop friendships and connections with students who have special needs and disabilities, and is heavily involved in his church as well. Charles, congratulations. You are our second Jerome Bettis Award leadership winner for the season. If you know somebody that deserves this award or you want to nominate somebody, go on over to Steelers.com/youth. And we will be back here on the Shell Halftime Show on KDKA+ after this.
I think this is a model institution. You are a point of pride here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. You understand that going to college is also about what you do after college and making sure you are arming your students with the opportunity to have the skills they need to go out and chart their own path to success in their futures.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
Pittsburgh, get ready to see PPG Pace Arena like never before. PPG Pace Arena tours take you behind the scenes of the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is your chance to step inside the Penguins locker room and feel the history of the 5-time Stanley Cup champs. See the ice from a player's point of view and go where legendary broadcasters called the biggest moments in Penguins history. From championship stories to behind-the-scenes secrets, this tour is the ultimate Penguins experience. Visit ppgpacearena.com and book your tour today.
At Octane Customs, we take pride in helping our local businesses make an impact. We don't just wrap vehicles. We build moving billboards that get your business noticed. From bold designs to expert installation, our 3M certified team delivers quality you can trust every time. Book now and mention this ad to get 10% off your custom business wrap and turn every mile into a marketing opportunity. Octane Customs, your brand on the move.
I'm Rocco, and I work here at Shell Polymers Monaca. Outside of work, I coach and train football at M7 Shell Sports Complex. We work with students on and off the field to develop their life skills, helping build my community.
Just like that, we're back at Martorelli Stadium in North Hills as the North Hills Indians are up 7-0 over the Mars Fighting Planets at the half. Alongside Colin Jonoff, I'm Susie Cole. Both these coaches putting on a clinic out there tonight. However, it's time to look at our Coach of the Week. We are bringing it back this season, and how can we not give it to Central Catholic head coach Ryan Lehmeyer after Central's massive 34-20 win over Pine Richland last Friday. Lehmeyer's team was highlighted by their tough defense that forced 3 turnovers and held the Rams scoreless in the second half of play, and this win snapped a 3-game drought for the Vikings against Pine Richland and marks Coach Lehmeyer's first Coach of the Week honors since taking over the Central Catholic program in 2023. Congratulations, Coach Lehmeyer, for being named Coach of the Week and your first Coach of the Week honors. So great for him. And now it is time to go to the one and only Whippio Insider himself, Carlo Zovko, with those top plays from Week 1 action.
It's halftime of the Steelers High School Football Showcase, and you know what that means. It's the Whippio Insider Show with your host and Whippio Insider, Carlo Zovko, all presented by our friends at Home Team Collections. Last week, we handed out our first framed picture for the #1 play of the week. Who's it going to be this week? We had a monster vote yet again on our Twitter page at WPIAL Insider. This is your favorite part of the show. This is the top 10 plays of the week, the week prior, of course. Let's get into some Week 1 action and see who the 10 best were.
At number 10, we're going to go to Trinity and McGuffey, and it's going to be Trinity linebacker Ben Priest who's going to snatch the ball and take it all the way to the house. Trinity would go on to take the win. At number 9, the #1 role in the Whippio this year. Don't kick it to Scoop Smith at Woodland Hills. Penn Hills does just that. Scoop turns around, makes them pay. Woody High would go on with the win. At number 8, Aliquippa's Marquise Council back for his senior year, and he's tucking the ball himself this time and taking it all the way. He dominates through the air, but this time it was on the ground. Aliquippa takes the win over Bell Vernon. At number 7, we're going to go to the Amani Christian and Beaver Falls game. It's going to be David Campbell. I feel like Amani Christian has 1 million DBs on their roster. David Campbell making his presence felt. He intercepts it and takes it to the house for a pick 6. At number 6, it's been 16 long years since Chartiers Valley has beaten West Allegheny, but Damian Holloway on a 2-point conversion in overtime snaps that streak. Big win for the Colts. At number 5, it's going to be Samir Crosby in Greensburg Central Catholic. He's going to tuck it and go left. Doesn't like what he sees. Going to reverse his field, go right, and take it all the way to the house as he shakes one last defender to get into the end zone. Big play by Samir Crosby. At number 4, it's going to be Bethel Park's Will Sabatos, the hard-hitting safety who's going to rip the ball from the Mars running back and take it back for 6 for the Blackhawks. Big play by Will. At number 3, it's going to be a kickoff between Central Catholic and Pine Richland last week, and Khalil Taylor, his first touch as a Pine Richland Ram, making everybody miss. You're not going to catch him if he gets into the open field. He takes it to the house. Central would go to win, but Taylor gets the top spot here. At number 2, we're going to go to the Plum game, and it's going to be Dom Scarden going up top to Danny Noonan. We're going to see this again here. Noonan going over top of the defenders to get it. What a play. And your #1 play, the Home Team Collections play of the week. It's going to be Peters Township defensive end Reston Lehman drops back into coverage, snags it, and takes it in for 6.
Congrats to Peters Township's Reston Lehman, who definitely came down with the #1 play. What a pick 6 in a massive game that you saw right here on the Steelers High School Football Showcase last week. I can't wait to see what Week 2 has in store for our top 10 plays. I think we're just getting cooking in Western Pennsylvania. Thanks again to our sponsors, Home Team Collection. This wouldn't be possible without them. Visit them online at hometeamcollections.com. If you want a framed jersey or any framed memorabilia, they are the people to see. I'm your host and Whippio Insider, Carlo Zovko. I'll be seeing you next week.
In a world of big corporations and interpersonal experiences, there's something truly special about family-owned businesses. For over 70 years, the Mike Kelly Automotive family has been serving the community with integrity, honesty, and a commitment to putting families first.
And we're not stopping anytime soon. Our commitment to excellent sales and service remains stronger than ever.
Visit us today and experience the Mike Kelly Automotive difference. Because when you buy from us, you buy from family.
Get all your Steelers gear direct from the team. Shop the Steelers Pro Shop in-store or online for all things black and gold. You can get jerseys, hats, authentic memorabilia, custom gear, and exclusives you can't find anywhere else. And of course, get the ultimate Steelers game day accessory, the Terrible Towel. Steelers Nation shops here. Get your gear in-store or online at shop.steelers.com.
Need construction or real estate services? One call covers it all. Macero Construction Group, helping shape the city you love and the name behind Pittsburgh's skyline. We manage construction for many local schools, ensuring strong foundations for the future. Need space? Macero Properties has prime office and warehouse locations in the airport corridor and downtown. And when disaster strikes, Macero Restoration is ready 24/7. One name, one call. Macero Construction Group, building Pittsburgh, serving you.
I'm Rocco, and I work here at Shell Polymers Monaca. Outside of work, I coach and train football at M7 Shell Sports Complex. We work with students on and off the field to develop their life skills, helping build my community.
We are just minutes away from the second half. The second half, Colin. Jeez, can I get my words right tonight? The second half kicking off here at Martorelli Stadium. The North Hills Indians up 7-0 over the Mars Fightin' Planets. If you're just tuning in, alongside Colin Jonoff, I'm Susie Cole, and a lot going on in this game, but North Hills with the lead. And a little bit of a sloppy start, though. Let's check out those Giant Eagle highlights right now for the first half.
Yeah, I think you said it. I mean, the game itself has been sloppy, but there have been some key plays, and I've been really impressed, actually, with the North Hills quarterback run game. When they've needed a spark or they've created any type of momentum-type plays, it's come from their quarterback play. Extending plays when he gets pressure. Right there, you see a beautiful pass on 3rd down and 5 to get the touchdown. Their defense as well has been phenomenal. They've forced 2 turnovers. As you see here, they forced the fumble right there. Lutz, one of our key players of the game, forces the fumble. And then they get a blocked punt later as well. Or excuse me, they get a blocked punt from Mars that makes it a little bit more complex. But I've been really impressed in a sloppy game that North Hills has really taken command over this game. Mars does have some splash plays, but it's really been taken control over by North Hills. Even when they've given up big plays like you see here down the seam, beautiful pass. They respond. Next play, they get a sack, force it to go to halftime with a 7-0 command lead. So I've been really impressed with what they've been doing. Again, forced multiple turnovers. They've really done a good job answering our call, listening to us up here, questioning them. So I've been impressed with what they've done up to this point. It's been a scrappy game. I'm excited to see kind of what transpires here in the second half. Will Mars respond like they have all year? I don't know. It's going to be a good game to watch.
Yeah, Mars with that big splash play towards the end of the second half. However, they have had a lot of turnovers. North Hills, offensively, they are finding ways. They found a way to get on the scoreboard. However, defensively, I think that is where they are most in tune this game. They are playing physical, and like I said at the start, they're playing with a vengeance. They want to hand Mars that first loss of the year. However, there's still some time for us to figure out how that's going to happen, but let's take a look at those. Whippeal scores around the Whippeal. Right here, right now, we got Avonworth up 9-7 over Aliquippa Penn Hills. They're being blanked by the North Allegheny Tigers, 14-0 right now. Thomas Jefferson trailing McKeesport 7-3. Central Valley up 16-10 over Bell Vernon, finally taking that lead back. Neshannock no score or scoreless against Elwood City, and Mount Lebanon also scoreless against, well, the one and only Peters Township Indians. That's it for the Shell halftime show here at Martorelli Stadium, and the Indians up 7-0 over the Mars Fightin' Planets. We'll see if Mars can keep the stars aligned here come the second half of play on the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week.
Did you know you can make your home or building look brand new?
for the whole project or just spot repointing, make your home exterior brand new like when it was built. Call or visit Mariani-Richards.com.
This is a meal. We're talking a good food that makes you feel good meal. You feeling that? Now, meal this. A salad for the first time in a week meal. A catching up with your ex meal.
So, how's your mom?
Been there. Ooh, a scoring cool dad points meal.
Obviously.
Thank you. Do I spy an I need 5 minutes to myself meal? Whatever you're feeling, at Panera, it just meals good.
Back high above Martorelli Stadium in North Hills, the North Hills Indians, their home opener of 2025 on our Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, presented to you by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. 7-0 lead at the break over the Mars Planets. Back inside the broadcast booth, I'm Matt Fargo. That's Arthur Moats, and this is the Steelers Showcase that has been unexpected here in the first 24 minutes. Arthur, North Hills defense has showed up and showed out in big ways. 2 turnovers. They found a way to get in the end zone with the big catch by Lutz. Really, this game has had everything, and the question is, how are the next 24 going to go?
You're absolutely right. Somebody forgot to tell North Hills that they're 0-2 and weren't supposed to show up tonight. But this is a home opener. You can feel the energy, you can feel the passion that they're playing with on both sides of the ball, and that's a big reason why this game is 7-0 in the Indians' favor. And
we talked about it at the open. It's not necessarily the destination, it's the journey. Seasons are not won and lost in week 0, 1, and 2, and we're seeing that play out here as North Hills is building some confidence, and I think that's going to be the big thing here. Can they continue that in this second half?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. What's going to happen in this second half is going to be interesting, and I'm just so glad that we got the best seats in the house to call this thing, because we know Moore's, they're 2-0. They're not trying to have all that hard work those first 2 weeks go for nothing. No. They want to continue their streak to see if they can get back to where they, have their end of the season aspirations there.
Yeah, it could be the first time since 2018 Mars goes 3-0. But can North Hills right their ship, an 0-2 start? Second half action of our Steelers Showcase underway from Martorelli. And fair catch called for and granted as the Fighting Planets open up the second half with the football. And this drive, I think, is a tone setter, and it can go one of two ways. Who sets the tone for this second half?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And if you're Coach Kasparovich, are you coming out here and you're saying we want to establish the line of scrimmage and feed Aiden Yoakum, or are we going back through the air where we're going to try to highlight Gabe Hine and see what he can do on that perimeter?
They've certainly had more success on the in-the-air game to this point. 1st and 10, back to the ground game. They'll start with Yoakum, and he is bottled up. Not much available. Izzy Armstead, first one on the scene, playing both ways for the red and white.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talked about it. When we're seeing for North Hills, when you're trying to attack the inside of their defense, that is where they're the most strong and physical. And you see a great job by Izzy, not just beating the block, but also making the tackle, and once again, not allowing yards after contact. 2nd and 9, once again, not the best situation for Mars.
Back to the ground game, and Yoakum finds a lane and a crease here to the 30. It's a first down for the Planets. Finally wrestled down by Edison, but not before a fresh set for the Planets.
And that was a nice adjustment. We talked about it. When you try to attack North Hills down the middle, that's where they're strong. But on the perimeter here, you can see where you have a little bit more space, a little bit more ability to utilize that speed from Yoakum and ultimately pick up the first down.
Mentioned this was a Mars team a season ago that started 1-4, finished the regular season 5-5 as a carry forward by Yoakum picks up 2. And Eric Kasparovitz wants a flag.
A little chippiness. Nothing wrong with that to start the second half. We're just getting to know each other, that's all. And I like that right there for North Hills because you have to make sure that you still establish the tone and let them know that you're not afraid, you're not going to be backing down, even though it's the second half. We're here all night long.
That was C.J. Harris disrupting that. Finish the thought on the season last year for the Planets after the second down at 8 play from the 32. Yoakum one more time, extending it to the far boundary. And finally, help arrives. Michael Walters for North Hills. But so they go 5-5 last year, enter the postseason, spoil a big-time party in McKees Rocks, beating Montour, get to the semifinals for the second time in as many seasons. You know, this Planets team, we talked about it, they have high expectations on where this 4A season can go for them.
And they have a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. The unfortunate thing has been just the self-inflicted wounds that we've seen from them tonight.
And North Hills is playing a level of defense. How about Cameron Healy, a sophomore, disrupting and forcing a fourth down punt unit on the field once again for the Planets.
Yeah, that North Hills defense right there. You see Cameron Haley doing a really good job utilizing his hands, and then from there getting off the block, making the tackle for a loss and forcing another Mars punt.
It's a young group here at North Hills, and they're starting to see it come together, especially defensively, forcing another punt. Uriznik does the punting duties, and he gets this one out of bounds. Where North Hills, with the 7-0 lead, back with the football. 9:17 to go here in the third. And the Indians, you know, certainly your expectation and your want is to get in the end zone every drive. But they also possess the football in that first half. And if they can do that here, they don't need to score again in the way their defense has been playing.
Sometimes a ball-controlling offense is a great defense. When you're able to keep the opponent's offense off the field, you minimize your exposure to negativity, the ability for them to take shots down the field, and it shows that Mars has to operate with perfection offensively, and they haven't been able to do that, and that's why North Hills is enjoying a 7-point lead with the ball again.
McCarthy back to pass. Undershot his intended receiver, incomplete. Josiah Mathis, the intended man, could not pick that one up off the phony grass here at Martorelli.
Some nice phony grass, though.
It is nice.
It's really nice.
It's nice. It's not like the phony grass at Bell Vernon.
Very true.
Second down at 10. Ball at the 40-yard line. McCarthy with 2 sidecars. Edison the call. Bouncing it, and it's extended right into the awaiting hands. Planets all over it. Krasinski leading the way. Yoakum also on the scene.
You talk about running to the football. Mars defensively did that right there. You see multiple hats getting to the ball. Obviously, they do a good job of extending the play, making it go to the sideline, lateral, and not downhill. But multiple guys getting there, that's what you want to see, and that's what Coach Kasparovich definitely is telling those guys on defense. And now you have them backed up 3rd and 12. This is what you want to do from a defensive standpoint.
There's Brody Zancaro, 4th game as a head coach. First one was the playoff game last year. They're going to go to McCarthy. They'll flip it back to Ellis, and Ellis is pulled down. Mars is not fooled, and they able to force a 3-and-out.
Yeah, it's becoming a little bit predictable right now. Whenever they bring in Austin Ellis, it's either him QB run, or when you see Kelly McCarthy, they're getting it right back to him so he can throw it. And obviously for Mars defensively, not fooled, and they haven't been fooled, honestly, outside of that first quarter when you saw them first have some success with that approach.
Yeah, bag of tricks, you go to it too often, it just becomes a bag.
Yeah, absolutely.
Punt unit out, Lutz, and someone caught it on the sideline there for the Planets, and we'll step aside.
Sean Franklin.
Nice. Shout out to Sean.
Yeah.
And shout out to you for coming back when we come back here on the Showcase on KDK Plus.
Turkey's in season at Eaton Park. Whether you're craving it hot, stacked, Pittsburgh style, or served up with all the fixings, we've got you covered. Starting at just $10.99. Add a slice of pumpkin pie to any of these favorites for only $1.99. Only at Eaton Park.
At Loewe, we understand the power of personalization. From hats to water bottles, our expert services include screen printing, embroidery, and a variety of promotional items. We also specialize in team sports gear. What truly sets Loewe apart is our dedicated design team, including our talented on-staff graphic designers and exponential customer service. Choose Loewe to make a lasting impression on and off the field.
You know, when Gary's call came in, just by the sound of the call, you knew that this was a bad injury.
When I saw Gary in the hospital room, they were afraid that his injuries were so severe that the lower leg wouldn't be salvageable. It was 50-50 as to whether Gary was going to keep the lower limb.
My name's Gary. When I needed help the most, Edgar Snyder was there for me. I wouldn't have wanted no one else. I'm glad they were my team, straight up.
At Hello Bistro, we keep it fresh. Fresh flavors, fresh choices, endless ways to build what you're craving. Because food should be as bold as you are. You deserve fresh. Only at Hello Bistro.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by UPMC Sports Medicine, Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union, Octane Customs, your brand on the move. Back to North Hills, third quarter action, our Steelers High School Showcase with Arthur Moats at Fargo up here in the booth. Susie Cool down to the sidelines. 7:45, third quarter action. North Hills leads Mars, but the Planets back with the football. See what they do here on a 1st and 10 from the 45. Uriznik with Yoakum as the sidecar. This is Liam Cochran getting the carry. And I was a little surprised that we haven't heard much from Liam Cochran and how successful he was. He had the game-winning touchdown and the pick last week against Bethel.
Well, and don't forget about the 11 tackles he had as well. Productive player all across the board. I'm with you. That's one of the guys that I was anticipating seeing a little bit more from. But maybe now that it's the second half, he will get his number called a little bit more.
2nd down, 6 from the 49. Riznik hands it off one more time. Right up the gut to 40, Liam Cochran. Just a sophomore, 5'11", 190. Another look at the instant replay brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine. North Hills is just flying to the football. Helmets on the football, as evidenced by 2 forced fumbles already tonight. 3rd and 4 from the 49. Throwing, and a nice deflection. I think Lutz got his big paw in the passing lane of that one and broke that one up.
Yes, really good job by Lutz right there, because he definitely had the receiver Gabe Hine open on the slant route behind him, but that's why you have everybody out there. It's no rule in terms of D linemen or even linebackers making plays in the pass game, and that's what you saw right there with him getting his hands up in the throwing lane. Nice job on the deflection.
4th down and 4, they'll elect to go for it. Look to that far sideline for the Planets. They give it off to Cochran, and Cochran picks up the 1st down, a 4th down conversion. Circle that. as potentially a game-changing play as the drive stays alive for Mars.
4th and 4, you call the inside zone to Liam Cochran. That right there is a gutsy call, but at the same time, for Coach Casper, you're trusting in your offensive line. You're trusting in the physicality, and you're trusting that those guys can pick up those tough yardage in the trenches, and that's what they did right there.
He had that 3-yard touchdown run with just 15 seconds left in the win against Bethel. They go back to Cochran, and he carries. He's got his wheels moving to the 35-yard line, where it will be 2nd and 2.
He's been doing a good job on this drive as well, following those big guys up front. Luciano Cusaria, who's taking over for the injured Adam Zillick, who's typically the starting center tonight. But those guys up front, man, Colton Ewan and company, doing a really good job on this drive, providing some running lanes.
Yeah, great point. Here comes a blitz, and North Hills just gave Mars a free 5.
And I like the changeup. You talk about he had a couple of plays of success running the football. You know North Hills is going to be amped up. Hard count.
Gets a first down. All of the cheerleaders on the Mars sideline threw their yellow pom-poms in the air. So if you didn't know on the field, you knew on the sideline.
Good indicators.
Yes.
You need that sometimes.
First down at 10. Yuriznik, tough throw. He really reached back for that one. Could not get Gabe Hine, and Hine cramping.
And he also, in terms of the quarterback, Colin, took a nice little shot from Alexander Brackham, number 62, providing some pressure on that play.
And there's Hine limping off the field, so no Hine. Cochran gets the carry, had a big-time collision. North Hills, Nico Thomas.
Yes, sir. That's what you love to see right there. That's what you call FaceTime, baby. Look at him right here, number 8. Patient, finding his spot, meeting the runner in the hole, and from there, a knockback tackle. I love the excitement, love the passion by Nico Thomas right there on that play.
Those are direct reflections of the Oklahomas in the camp. 3rd and 10. Flip the formation. Tight end strong left. They go back to a handoff left side to Yoakum, and he's yanked down one more time by the sophomore Thomas. Back to back.
That's a name that you're going to want to remember. The way that this kid is flying around sideline to sideline, his read and reaction, you look at him at the middle of the field right here, shuffle and stay square, but then once he realizes the ball is declared outside, puts a foot in the ground and goes and run that man down. Hello, that's a playmaker, baby.
4th down. Planets faced with another one. They converted one already on this drive. 4 minutes to go, and North Hills wants to talk about a critical play. And we'll burn one with them. Time to pay some bills. Steelers Showcase presented by Giant Eagle, and the Post-Gazette roars on here on the K2K Plus.
My favorite thing to buy at Giant Eagle is sourdough bread.
This is hard because I have really good things to say. I love the fresh produce. I love the fresh meat.
I'm pretty sure the fish guy knows me by now. We're buds.
I love to grill. That alone keeps me coming back.
We love the fact that we have the My Perks program.
The people that work here are so nice and so helpful.
They are always very friendly, especially Pam. Everybody loves the cakes from Giant Eagle.
This is my Giant Eagle.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
Welcome to La Roche University, where experience isn't just a buzzword, it's a way of life.
At La Roche, our students thrive by putting their ideas into action.
So we came in today just kind of getting a general idea of valuing a model and how it is done in actual real-life time.
I think what they're doing in La Roche with the applied learning has a lot of value for the students. They're able to see the real-world numbers come to life, and that has a lot of impact for them.
La Roche University, engaging minds, embracing the world.
From heating and cooling
to a large array of construction equipment, Herc Rentals has the gear you need to get the job done. Herc Rentals is already a staple in several communities across the United States and Canada and have been serving our customers' needs since 1965, with a catalog of equipment that spans the spectrum of almost every kind of solution you can think of. To learn more about Herc Rentals, visit hercrentals.com or call us at 1-888-777-2700.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Shell, Panera Bread, Loway Enterprises, promotional products and apparel. Neon night here at Martorelli as Mars faced with a 4th down and 10. They're going to test it into the end zone. It is incomplete, and there comes the flag. Flag is down.
And the DB was in good position. Unfortunately, never got his head around. And that's one of the things that the referees are always going to be looking for, especially on plays down the grass like that. Point of attack, got to get your head around so that way the official will at least feel like you're making a play on the ball. But right here you can see number 3 never gets his head around, puts the arm up, ends up falling on top of the receiver as well. Easy call for the official. And it's unfortunate because North Hills is about to get off that field and get the ball right back with nice field position.
Brady Brennan was the intended receiver and got the pass interference drawn. 1st down and 10 for Mars. Yoakum back to the ground game in about the same result. They are getting maybe a yard or 2 when they go between the tackles.
Yeah, and specifically through the tackles with Yoakum. At least when they went with Liam Cochran, they had some more success. Man, you saw him picking up the 4th and 4, obviously, but once again, it's trying to figure out what's the best way, what's the best approach, because we know Yoakum was the guy that led the charge last week.
They just get a yard there, 2nd and 9. A very fast-moving 3rd quarter, already ticking towards 3 minutes. 2nd down and 9. They go back to Yoakum, and he slips through 1 tackle inside the 10. He's down around the 8. 3rd down upcoming here for the Planets.
Looks like we have another player down for the North Hills, but there's Jonell Edison.
We don't want to see that for Indians fans. Starting tailback. And medical staff out to attend to him. It looks like just a cramp. He just popped right back up.
Hydration, hydration.
Hey, football continues tomorrow right here on KDKA Plus as they lift the lid on the Division III football season. D3 football, Utica and W&J go at it at noon on KDKA Plus. The Telly Award winner.
Hey now.
Third down and 4. And the Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union red zone. Battling inside the 5 is Cochran, and he has certainly been able to get the push.
Well, when you look at the size difference, Aiden Yoakum, 5'8", 175 pounds, struggling a little bit in the interior part running the football. Liam Cochran, 6 foot, 190 pounds. So when you talk about that 15 to 20 pound difference, we are seeing it pay dividends with his production falling forward, running in between the trenches.
Now they get a fresh set of downs, 1st down and goal from the 3. Cochran into the end zone. Touchdown Planets. An extra point away from tying things. Planets on the board here late in the 3rd. Liam Cochran, the man who does it.
And this is a nice run by Liam, following the interior portion of his offensive line. The big guys up front providing a nice hole for him and ultimately getting him into that end zone. And now giving the Planets a chance to tie this ball game late in the 3rd quarter.
Extra point. Dom DeBassi, first-year football player. 8 for 8 on PATs, and there's a problem with the snap. They throw it in the end zone, and it's intercepted, and it cannot be returned. So the extra point fails, and special teams a third of the game. And right now, the reason why North Hills will hang on to a 1-point advantage.
Absolutely. Nice play right there by Joey Lutz, showing the recognition once the fire happened on the missed up field goal snap. And from there, keeping his eyes up, finding a way to get an interception and not allow Mars to turn a bad play into a positive for them. But this could come back to hunt them down the line. Nice job by the Indians on defense.
Frank Kazovic was the man trying to attempt that extra point. We take a look at the Kelly Automotive drive summary. 12 plays, 55 yards, 5:28 off that third quarter clock. 7-6 our score. And for North Hills fans, does have a little bit of the same feel of that playoff game. North Hills had much of the lead, much of this game. Then finally Franklin Regional was able to chip in and ended up scoring late in that game to win the 1-point victory and advance in the playoffs. So for North Hills, this is a crucial drive to respond, answer the answer of the Planets.
You're absolutely right, because they've had so much positive success in that first half with the turnovers, with all the balls bouncing their way, but it's just a 1-point game now. And this is where you're going to have to see, can North Hills operate with this pressure situation, because it feels a lot different as this game gets narrowed down to the end of it and that score is tight like this now.
Kicks away, fielded from the 5. 5-5 is Edison on the return to the 30, and Edison with a stiff leg near the near sideline, and Edison is down inside the 30. Great field position for the Indians. And special teams stepping up again for the Indians.
Ask and you shall receive. We said, what are they going to do to respond to Mars having their first productive drive, scoring 12 plays, 55? Don't worry about it. Just kick the ball to Jonell Edison. Number 5 right here. Makes the first guy miss. Puts a foot on the ground. Stiff arm. Another stiff arm. Explosive. Look at the guy go all the way down inside the 30-yard line. That is the answer that you wanted if you're North Hills, and I'm sure Coach Brody is down there extremely fired up for his Indians on offense now.
Brought life back into Martorelli on that return by Edison. First and 10 from the 29, and they'll go to Izzy Armstead off the right side, and Armstead runs into an arm tackle there at the 25-yard line. It was Jamison Garvin on the tackle.
And it's been an extremely physical game tonight on both sides of the ball. But the thing that I'm liking is this. Every time you see the Indians try to take advantage of a big play, that Mars defense responds with something. And they've done a good job all night minimizing the damage. So let's see if they can also do that right here.
McCarthy from the shotgun one more time on a second down at 6 from the 25. Back into the belly of Armstead, and nothing available. Mars flies to the football. First one there is Liam Cochran, also playing both sides of the football tonight.
Absolutely. I told you last week he had 11 tackles, so you know he does it on both sides of the ball. But right there you see him taking his time. As soon as he sees the ball carry, fills the hole, nice tackle. And once again, one of my favorite things, no yards after contact. Make the tackle, knockback tackle though.
3rd and 6, under a minute to go here in the third. McCarthy, 4 wide, back to pass. Blitz picked up, dials it over the middle and incomplete. And a little extracurricular chippiness there between the receiver intended. Rayshad Temple, the intended receiver.
And I like the attempt, though, in terms of the pass right here. Obviously, you see North Hills trying to take advantage through the air. Unfortunately, a little bit high. And as a defender, I like what Aiden Yoakum did. If you're going to put the ball in my vicinity and that guy doesn't catch it, let me make sure he reminds himself not to come back over here again.
Field goal attempt here. Andrew Greenland, 2 of 4 for field goal attempts this season. He missed one earlier. That kick on its way, has the distance. That kick is good. Andrew Greenland puts it through the poles.
That is how you respond.
42 yards.
That is how you respond. Coach Brody Zangaro has to be excited about how his Indians responded to that first real success that we saw Mars have. You get the big kickoff return by Jono Edison, and then at least it turns into 3 points. And like you said, obviously you want to get 7 points, but if you're walking away with 3, now you expand this lead back to being 4 points. So now it's no longer in that field goal range. You got a little bit more cushion as a defense.
And it's special teams again, Arthur. You're talking about the kick return. You don't end up getting anything, but you're able, because of the kick return, to make that drive count for points.
For everybody that's maybe new to the field position game, this is why it's so important. Because you can see, even though offensively they didn't gain a yard, because you get the explosive return on kickoff and you get set up in perfect field position, you're able to get points. And that's going to be important for the Indians to continue to do that tonight. But now, the tables turn. How do the Mars Fighting Planets respond now? Because the adversity is hit once again. You finally had some success, but now you find yourself back down 10-6, 37 seconds left in the third quarter. What do you do?
We'll find out on a kickoff here by Greenland, who goes right back out there. A story about Greenland, so great to ends up becoming a member of the football team after Coach Zangaro saw him kicking down the street from where Zangaro lives. Asked him, hey, you go to North Hills, right? He said, yeah, played soccer a little bit. He's kicking with his dad. And next thing you know, he's on the team. Already hit a 40-yarder in week 0 against Hemco. Now he hits from 42 to give North Hills a 10-6 advantage.
Listen, Coach Tomlin would always tell us, I don't care where you come from. I don't care what you look like. If you can play and you can help us, we got a spot for you on this roster. And I'm sure for Coach Brody, he looked and said the same thing. Driving down the street, oh, he can kick really well. All right, well, hey, man, if you're in my zone, you're in my district, I got a spot for you, babe. What jersey you like? Okay, I can make that work for you.
16 sounds nice. First and 10 from the 20. Mars right back to work. Can they go back-to-back offensive drives? A flag disrupts everything before it starts.
Another pre-snap movement. It's happening again. And outside of that last drive where you saw them go 12 plays, 55 yards, this has been the story for Mars all night. Self-inflicted, starting behind the chains or behind the sticks on first down, and it really just hurts what you're trying to do from a possession standpoint.
And a handoff right up the middle as Yoakum breaks free. First big carry we've seen from him in a while, and it gets 9.
And when you think about Yoakum, he was their productive runner last week. Like we said, 27 carries, 194 yards. But he's really been bottled up tonight before we saw that run right there.
Baker probably got 5 after the penalty. And then they give him, again, Yoakum picks up the first down. And a little bit more talk in there as Game Hine again comes up cramping. And that's the way this third frame will come to a close. A 4-point lead going to the fourth from Martorelli on a Steelers Friday night high school showcase. Come back with us with nothing decided for the fourth on KDKA+.
Stay connected with all the action. Follow JRM Sports on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Get the latest highlights, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes moments from your favorite sports. Don't miss a second. Follow us today.
You might not see the people's pipelines that deliver you safe, reliable natural gas every day because they are out of sight, hiding beneath your feet. But what's out of your sight is not out of our minds. We move through busy city streets to upgrade the infrastructure that served our region for decades, using state-of-the-art materials that reduce emissions, to power homes and businesses with essential energy for generations to come. That's people's commitment to making your life better.
Need construction or real estate services? One call covers it all. Macero Construction Group, helping shape the city you love and the name behind Pittsburgh's skyline. We manage construction for many local schools, ensuring strong foundations for the future. Need space? Macero Properties has prime office and warehouse locations in the airport corridor and downtown. And when disaster strikes, Macero Restoration is ready 24/7. One name, one call. Macero Construction Group. Building Pittsburgh. Serving you.
Thanks for fixing the door.
I was nervous about that lock.
To your family, you are more than just your income.
What would she do without me? She'd probably have to marry our next door neighbor, Todd.
Well, Todd, I have no feelings for you whatsoever, but I'm going to have to say I do. I can't afford a handyman.
Gotta get some life insurance.
Although you're irreplaceable, a life insurance policy from GBU Life can provide the financial security your family needs for a secure future. To get started, visit gbu.org.
There's no place like home and no place you'd rather be than at Steelers Style, presented by your neighborhood Ford store, PNC, UPMC, and UPMC Health Plan. Be a part of the largest and most anticipated fundraising event of the year, benefiting Steelers charities. Get your tickets now at Steelers.com/SteelersStyle.
GBU Life blimp over Martorelli tonight. Aerial coverage brought to you by our friends at GBU Life. Protect what matters. Now, North Hills leads it 10-6. Fourth quarter action underway. Carry on first down. Yoakum to the 35, picking up 4 to start. And what does Mars need to do, Arthur, to kind of continue their momentum they have been building here throughout the course of the second half?
Well, the thing that they did last series, they went with the bigger back, right? Liam Cochran, and they had a lot of success. Now they switched to Aiden, who's obviously a little bit more of a shiftier guy, and you can see this is what he brings as the change of pace type of back.
Yoakum bouncing it to that outside and picking up a first down into North Hills territory to the 44-yard line. Another look at the UPMC Sports Medicine instant replay.
Makes a guy miss, then from there gets to the perimeter, and this is where you can see his speed and athleticism really show up right here, and that's how you get that nice explosive first down for the Mars Fighting Planets.
He is off the field as Yoakum off, Cochran in. Cochran gets the call. He gets good 5, maybe 6 to the 39 before being brought down. Michael Waters on the tackle.
Yeah, and the big guys up front, man, they're doing a good job of providing some running lanes for either Cochran or Yoakum. And I think those are the important parts of why you've been able to see them have a little bit more success this half running that ball, especially in the interior part versus in the first half where they really were getting stymied every time they tried to attack in between the tackles.
Injury timeout, North Hills player cramping. High school football continues on the Steelers High School Showcase next week. We take our talents to the shadows of Kennywood Park, West Mifflin, Pennsylvania, to see the Titans match up against the Bethel Park Blackhawks. Bethel Park, West Mifflin, Friday night on KDKA+. Pre-game show starts at 6:30, kickoff around 7. Hope to talk to you then. Another interclassification matchup. West Mifflin with their do-it-all back, Amon Hill. Bethel Park put up 600 yards of total offense in week 0.
Did you say 600? I just want to make sure I heard you correctly.
Correct.
Okay. Jeez.
and that team was stunted by this Mars team a week ago.
Think about that.
Yeah. Defensive struggle, if you like that, you'd like this game. As Cochran, one more time, carries 2 yards shy of the line to gain. It will be third down for Mars. And another North Hills player slow to get up.
Yeah, but I'm liking how physical this game has become, like we talk about it. You see how Mars is trying to really lean on that run, that physical downhill approach. And it's been really helping them in the second half with Cochran having a lot of success. But at the same time, here we are looking at a 3rd and short. Obviously, we know we have somebody down right now, but another 3rd and short. And this is largely due to the Indians being able to find a way to find a stop. And that's what they've done on those past 2 runs right there. So we'll see what they do on this 3rd down.
Find a way. Both of these teams trying to buckle down. turning point of the season, this early point of the year. Quarter of the way through by the time this game ends. And they go back to Cochran, and he has Amar's first down. Fresh set for the blue and gold.
They really linked on him in that physical running. But like I said, man, the offensive line is doing a really good job of battling in the trenches. Johnny Maestra, Sean Franklin, Colton Ewan, Jamison Dickman, and obviously the replacement Luciano Kuzakria, on that one, taking over at the center spot.
This time, Cochran goes nowhere. He's decked in the backfield by Lutz. And this time, Cochran is down. Had a fair share of players that have gone down tonight. Athletic training staff to go back and attend. While they do, we take a look at scores from around the WPIL. How about the Avonworth Antelopes? 23-7 on Aliquippa. Doesn't happen often. McKeesport up on Thomas Jefferson 7-3 in the defensive struggle. NA leads Penn Hills 21-0. A final Peters beats Lebo. And how about Neshannock roaring back after going down 14-0, all tied up at 20. Central Valley leading Bell Vernon 22-17. Great games across the WPIL. What jumps out? There's two that jump off the page to you, right?
Obviously, the way that you feel about Avonworth is going to catch your eye, but the way that I feel about McKeesport has me really happy right now. So we'll see what either of those teams do in terms of the finish, but yeah.
I think you went on an island and picked the Tigers earlier today, right?
I absolutely did. I'm team Keemon Spell and those guys over there, man, now that they're back healthy. So those are the guys that I'm leaning on.
Some really good scores, and welcome into the broadcast booth. Matt Fargo with Arthur Moats, Friday night in Western Pennsylvania, and these two perennial programs that are trying to get there in terms of Mars has been in the semifinals the last 2 years, never won a WPIAL championship. North Hills hasn't won one since Eric Kasparovich was the quarterback back in '93, but you could feel like these tides are shifting.
No, you're absolutely right, and both of these programs have been well coached, and I think that that's what we're really seeing tonight show up on both sides of the ball, and that's why this game is so highly contested.
Screen pass set up. It's for the Sticks. Gabe Hine reels it in.
And that's the first time we've seen them bring the screen play to Gabe this week, where we know last week he was able to have a touchdown off of that particular play right there. So good job by the Indians defensively being prepared for it.
That was just a 1-yard pickup to Hine. They only give him one. So it's 3rd down and 9. That Mars sideline was screaming about something that they didn't get the call their way. Back to Aiden Yoakum. Yoakum broke free and almost was able to score it away, but North Hills holds on and just allows the first down and limits the damage.
Yeah, really good job by Aiden right here, showing the contact balance, breaking Joey Let's tackle and company. And that's the first time you've really seen the Indians not have good tackling and allowing some yards after contact right there.
Namani on the tackle. The sophomore saves a touchdown there. Yoakum another call. And this time he swarmed over Cameron Healy, the first one there for North Hills.
Yeah, nice job right here defensively by the Indians, just finding a way to keep him bottled up and at least making it where it's not second and short and giving the Mars an easier way to get into the end zone.
Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union red zone at the 19. 2nd down at 7, and they go right between the tackles one more time. It's old school style between these two.
Yeah, and it almost feels as if Coach Casper is trying to just see, if I keep running this, eventually I'm going to kick this door, and eventually it's going to open up. And we're starting to see some little remnants of that. Liam on the drive where they were able to run it and have the touchdown. Obviously, Aiden's having some success on this particular drive right here.
They trailed much of the game last week against Bethel Park. Scored to take the lead with 15 seconds in the 4th. 7:39 on a running 4th quarter clock. Can they take the lead late here? North Hills Able to step up, C.J. Harris. Dex Yoakum in the backfield.
And that's what you want to see by your defensive leader, C.J. Harris, right there. Mars knocking, Mars having success, lean on 52. Beats the guy trying to block him, gets the big TFL, and ultimately force a long fourth down for the Planets on offense.
Fourth down and 8. Do they have another conversion in them? Do the Planets? Uriznik surveys, double clutches, throws in and out of the hands. A turnover on downs. The Indians hold and reclaim possession of the football late in the fourth.
This is what you want to see by Joey Lutz right here. Zone coverage, eyes on the quarterback, gets in the window, nice PBU. You see him celebrating and ultimately gets the Indians the ball back in the fourth quarter with under 7 minutes left in the game.
Spencer was the intended receiver. North Hills trying to bring Mars back down to earth. They lead at 10-6 late in the fourth on the showcase.
UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
A fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life, world-renowned surgeons.
Primary care sports medicine physicians.
Board-certified physical therapists.
A comprehensive multidisciplinary assessment to evaluate for concussion.
Nutrition.
Athletic training.
Sports performance. Everything is right here that you need. So we deliver that right to you.
This Friday, the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, presented by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, features Bethel Park as the Blackhawks take on the West Mifflin Titans Friday at 7 on KDKA+.
College isn't for everyone, but from pay to training to retirement, Pennsylvania Laborers Union members live better. PA Laborers Union offers a great wage potential of $42 per hour and terrific health benefits. Imagine having 0 student loans while receiving state-of-the-art construction training. Join the team and get mentorship and guidance from experienced members. Go now to laborparecruit.com for more information.
Get all your Steelers gear direct from the team. Shop the Steelers Pro Shop in-store or online for all things black and gold. You can get jerseys, hats, authentic memorabilia, custom gear, and exclusives you can't find anywhere else. And of course, get the ultimate Steelers game day accessory, the Terrible Towel. Steelers Nation shops here. Get your gear in-store or online at shop.steelers.com.
This Saturday, tune in to KDKA Plus as the PAC G3 college football season kicks off with the Washington and Jefferson Presidents hosting the Utica Pioneers at noon, only on KDKA Plus.
6:55 to go in the fourth quarter. North Hills, the football and the lead. They go to Edison, who's bogged down to the backfield. Mars stepping up defensively. It's Maestra on the tackle, Johnny Maestra.
Yeah, and if you're North Hills, you don't want to just take a conservative approach right here. You want to try to get a first down or two to eat up some of this clock and not allow that Mars offense to get the ball with good field position. But second and long is not the way that you want to start this drive right now.
McCarthy, second and 13 from the 17. He'll go back to pass. Slant route, dangerous throw. That ricocheted off of one of the defensive linemen and almost found the awaiting pause there of the Mars linebacker, Ray Chase.
Yeah, and I believe that's number 5, Zach Denzel, getting into the throwing lane after realizing that it was play action pass and could have got a nice interception right there, but unfortunately the ball fell harmlessly to the ground. And we'll see how North Hills now reacts to this third and long situation. But this is not what you want to do if you're North Hills on offense with this type of time and this type of area of the field.
Third 13 from the 17. Mars defense licking their chops, trying to get that football back for their offense. McCarthy will hand it off. Edison trying to get to the corner, and he will not. Everything is controlled by the Mars defense. First one on the scene was Ethan Krasinski.
When it's 3rd and 13 from your own 12-yard line, this is what we call give-up football. Hand the ball off, try to keep the ball running, or keep the clock running, but ultimately minimize your exposure to negativity. Now they're going to punt, try to play field position, but the Planeteers or the Fighting Plants are going to have really good field position, barring something significant happen on this punt right here.
Yeah, because Joey Lutz is standing at his own 1-yard line right now with 5:30, the clock rolling. They'll roll this clock all the way down. They've already had a punt blocked, and this punt goes up the elevator shaft. Not a lot of distance on it. It will get a good North Hills roll to the 46-yard line. And we will go down and check in with Susie Cole down on the sidelines.
Thanks, Matt and Arthur. I don't know if you know this, but North Hills is the biggest band in Western Pennsylvania, and I'm so lucky right now to be joined by 2 senior band members, Simon and Sally. First of all, how cute is that? But Simon, you're on the drum line. The drum line goes into the North Hills locker room before every single game to get the team pumped up. What is the go-to song?
Our go-to song is Fast Forward. It's quite self-explanatory. We're going real fast. We're getting them pumped up, and that's really to get them off the bench. Everybody's in play. Nobody's on the sideline. We're getting them pumped up and ready to go. It's our own personal renegade.
What a great tradition. And another tradition, the band heading to Disney late March, early April. Sally, when you look ahead to this moment, you're going to be in a parade, have a huge performance that you have to put on. What are you looking forward to the most?
Honestly, I'm just looking forward to spending time with these people. I mean, like you said, we have the biggest band, and it's so cool to be able to make memories with these people and be able to perform with each other, but then also go and have fun in the parks together.
There's just 5 minutes, 12 seconds left in this quarter. Okay, what is going to be the song to make sure that North Hills pulls off this win?
Oh no, we're gonna have quite a couple of good ones. We're gonna play loud. We're gonna play fast. We're gonna get them pumped up. No specific song, just noise. We're gonna do it.
Simon and Sally, thank you so much, and good luck in Disney later next year. Matt, Arthur.
Susie, thanks so much. And earlier this year, band director Len Lavelle was honored by Barry Manilow and the Mary Manilow Music Foundation. Earlier at PPG Paints Arena, they donated $15,000 to his program. He's a teacher here at North Hills supporting the music program. So congratulations to Len, and shout out to Tyler Schmidt on the nomination. They're supporting his North Hills Indians. So there was a penalty on the punt. They re-punt there, and kind of a moot point because it's about identical. I thought we were watching an instant replay in person.
The only thing I would say was the punt was actually better this time, but it's still the exact same location. So here we are.
So here we are. 5 minutes to play in this ball game, a 4-point game. Mars, who coming into tonight scores 42 and 17, held to a touchdown, missed the extra point. North Hills went down and hit a 42-yard field goal to take this 4-point advantage as Yoakum gets the first carry of the drive to the 44.
A little bit of an issue for Mars right now. They want to lean on this running game, but they're dealing with some cramping, and you keep seeing that every time when Yoakum gets done running the football, you see him adjusting himself, trying to get that calf muscle loosened up, but we'll see how that plays out for him down the stretch.
Here's Jurisnik, going to down one up down the far boundary and overshot everybody, but here comes a flag. Gabe Hine, the intended receiver, and North Hills has aided Mars with the pass interference penalties tonight.
Not a big fan of that call. I thought both of those guys were doing some hand fighting down the grass, but as a defender, the onus is on you. And I will say this, he didn't get his head around, and that's the one thing that continues to show up tonight. You got to get your head around when you're at the point of attack like this. He does look up, and to me, I think that isn't a catchable pass either.
Well,
but
funny, I was going to mention that, Arthur, in high school football,
that doesn't matter.
No such thing.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. A lot. That's actually a kind of one of those calls that you hear from the stands all the time. Oh, that wasn't catchable.
But it doesn't matter at this level.
It does not. As Jurisnik will find Hine, Hine down the sideline. Hine takes it all the way for the touchdown. Planets in front for the first time tonight.
Anybody that has watched Gabe Hines, they know this is what he does. His run after catch ability. This is what he does, and ultimately right here putting the team on his back to get this touchdown and ultimately put the Fighting Planets ahead for the first time tonight with 4 minutes left in this game.
Hine, you thought, might get knocked down at the 10, at the 5, but he would not be denied.
Makes a defender miss on the stop route, outruns the defender number 6, and then too strong for number 4 as he crosses the end zone. Really good job by Gabe Hine. And that's the type of play that you need. That's the type of play that they were expecting, and that is also why he is the Sacred Heart commit. Let's not forget that either.
No, as Eric Kasparovich called him, one of the best wide receivers in the state. And you see why there. Hine takes it in, 2-point lead. Now here comes Rezinovich for the extra point. They did not convert the last one, and they will this time. So a 3-point game with 4:15 to go. The Mars Fighting Planets, boy, emphasis on the fighting tonight.
I mean, when you look at this replay right here, first thing I have to point out is the fact that Colin Urisnik takes his time, nice catchable ball right on the numbers to 30, and then from there, watch Gabe put the speed on, outrunning the defender, not allowing anybody to bring him down, and crossing that end zone to get the Mars Fighting Planets back in front for the first time and feeling good late in this game now.
There were flags that flew, you saw there. See how they're assessed here on the kickoff. It looks like the flag went against North Hills.
A little extracurricular activity following the touchdown. And I can understand with as passionate of a game and as close of a game as this has been tonight, but you also have to control your emotions because the self-inflicted issues that Mars had early on obviously didn't have enough of an impact. But late in this game, a self-inflicted issue like we're seeing right here could be detrimental to your field position, which more than likely will be the case.
So when you were talking extracurriculars, you weren't talking AV Club?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay, all right, just to make sure. So the personal foul call allows Mars now to kick off from the North Hills 45-yard line. So it's a great opportunity here to try to boot this one out of the end zone. Kuznovich puts it into the back of the end zone, and we'll check back with Susie Cole.
Thanks, Matt. When asked to sum up his team in one word, Mars head coach Eric Kasparovich said driven. After 2 straight semifinal losses the last 2 seasons that you guys talked about earlier, there's a drive and hunger in this group in this group this year that is indescribable. And Coach Kasper says that every day they show up ready to practice, ready to improve, and there's a real will inside of them, and we're seeing that come alive right here, right now.
Yeah, and I think it's also Eric credit the staff around him. Tom Ricketts, an ex-NFL lineman. He was with the Cincinnati Bengals. Ben Lynch, WVU All-Big East defensive end in the late 90s, early 2000s. Tim Vernick, a Butler grad and a standout at Slippery Rock. North Hills dials up a pass here that's caught as Jack Broderick pulls in the big play. And North Hills says, there's too much time. Don't anybody go home just yet.
Hey, and I like what I saw right there. Obviously, Kelly McCarthy taking his time, putting a nice strike in stride to Jack Broderick, who also has a receiving touchdown this season as well, and getting him going tonight. So good play right there, and let's see if they can capitalize on this success through the air.
Option play is keeping is McCarthy, and McCarthy squirts through, ball comes out, but he is rolled down. Good play there by the officials. Arthur, we've seen a lot of those calls this year that are obvious, not be so obvious. So
you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. But if you're the Indians right now, control what you can control, and that is a good job right there of just finding a positive play on first down and getting them in a second. And even though it's 7, that's way better than 2nd and 15, which is what they've been experiencing for a good amount of times.
Second down at 7 from the 48-yard line now. McCarthy Sidecar to the right, 3 wide receivers. Here comes pressure. He can't escape. He is sacked. Finovitz on the sack. No, I beg your pardon. That was Ryan Walker coming in and making a big-time stop. It's 3rd down and 19 now.
And look at this guy right here showing the inside move off of the right edge, and then from there doing an excellent job of making sure the quarterback can't escape him for the big sack. And now we're looking at 3rd and 18. Definitely not what the Indians were wanting on this drive right here.
3rd and 18 from the 37, timeout. Mars did not like the set they were in. And Eric Kasparovich, who is the defensive coordinator of this squad, calls a timeout with 2:39 to play.
And that was a big play right there by Ryan Walker on defense. That sack, man, when you talk about it, it was 2nd and 7. Way different if you have any type of positive play and you're looking at 3rd and short to manageable. 3rd and 18, it's not a lot on the play call sheet that you have for these situations, especially with 2 minutes and 39 seconds left. So maybe they try to do something where they try to get half of the yardage and set up for a more manageable or realistic 4th down attempt.
Third down and 18. Yeah, you got to look at this as 2-down territory. You see there a look at a possible Andrew Greenland kick that could tie things. Rolling to the right, McCarthy. He'll look. He got a receiver wide open for the 1st down. Spins away from another at the 35, and he's inside the 35-yard line. What a catch, Josiah Mathis.
Let's go, North Hills Indians. That's what you want to see right there. Kelly McCarthy doing a good job rolling out of the pocket, and then from there, finding his guy, number 24, Josiah Mathis. And from there, the big catch makes a defender miss. Now they have the Indians knocking. And with 2 minutes left in the game, this could be a situation where they either go for the tie or maybe seal the deal with a victory and go ahead and push it in for a touchdown.
Clock is their friend with still 2 minutes to play. And they go back to the ground game, and Edison gets the call. Edison turns the corner, 1st down, inside the 20. Edison is still churning his way to the 15. 1st down, North Hills, another fresh set for the Indians under 2 minutes to go.
John L. Edison's vision, his ability to jump in and out of that hole right there. You see him coming downhill, whoop, makes the defender miss, and then puts the speed on to get to the edge of the defense. Nice pickup right here to get the 1st down for the Indians, and now they are knocking. They are knocking.
Now, I mean, you already have a field goal kicker that's hit a 42-yarder tonight, so you don't want to play for the tie, obviously, but the play calling here, how interesting, how conservative do you play this on? You have a chance to win this game, but you also have a chance to tie it, so that balancing act.
I would say you want to be best of both worlds, but at the same time, don't play around. You're having success right now doing what? Putting your foot on the pedal, running the ball. So I say you still run that ball because that's going to keep the clock running, but if you have a chance to score, you score the touchdown and you rely on your defense. Do not allow the Indians, do not allow the Planets off the hook or a situation where they got plenty of time to go down there for a potential game-winning play.
Last year, North Hills came back down 15 to spoil Mars' party. Can they have another comeback in them? As keeping is McCarthy, and he's grabbed down by the ankles. Ethan Krasinski on the stop.
And with that run play right there, even though it wasn't a massive gain, it keeps the clock running, so it does a couple of things. If you are going to go and get this field goal, it minimizes the Planet's chance to come back down and win it. But more importantly, if you still got a chance to score right here, which you do, 1:25 and counting, you still have everything you're looking for. You still have a lot of options on the table. So really good job right here of them handling the situation.
2nd down and 8 from the 13. They could get a 1st down at the 5. Trips near side. Draw play. Back to Edison. Pushing the pile forward. Edison got a nice push. Ball came out. Mars says they have the football, and the officials confirming that he is ruled down. No fumble on the field.
Whew.
Mars came out. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, the ball out, not a knee down. Mars came away with it, and North Hills dodges what would have been and could have been a game sealer.
That's the beauty of high school football. No replays, no challenges. I love it. I love it.
And you know what? We've talked about this before. The job of the PIAA officials, so difficult. You are seeing this with the human eye. Obviously, we have the ability with very expensive cameras. Take my word for it.
Not just that. I mean, we even got the vantage point. I mean, we got this nice bird's eye view, so we can see all of this thing, the zooming in and everything, etc. But for those officials, they're making their best, attempt at it. And at this level, that's all you can ask for. And we always say, next play. Well, regardless of the call, next play.
And we know even at the highest level, they don't always get it right, even with replay.
We get fined for talking like that. You got to stop.
McCarthy rolling, third down. McCarthy avoids two and pushes forward. He's about a yard short of the first down. It will be fourth down and a yard to get a fresh set as the clock ticks under 40 seconds to play. What will North Hills decide to do here? Young Brody Zangaro in his interim season.
I mean, I would personally like them to be a little aggressive here, get this first down, and then go ahead and punch it in for the walk-off win.
What a run by McCarthy to make this.
I mean, the way they're doing it right now, I mean, you see what's going on. They are excited, man. They're going for the win. I love it. Let's
Buckle
go.
up. Here we go.
Let's
10
go.
seconds to play. Down to 8. Back to pass. Serving. 3. Throwing into the end zone. Time expires. The walk-off winner. Touchdown, North Hills. Joey Lutz.
Hold on, not so fast. There is a flag on the field. There is a flag on the field.
There's an ineligible receiver downfield on North Hills. And there will be an untimed down. The game's not over yet. And North Hills wants a flag for Mars rushing the field. Absolute pandemonium. As the official will reset, it will be fourth down, an untimed down, and they're going to kick to tie the game here to try to send this into overtime. Greenland has already kicked one. He's 1 of 2 tonight. Kick on the way. It goes no good. Mars survives.
Oh.
The Planets take down the Indians in a heartbreaker, 13-10. Planets stay undefeated in 2025.
Wow. Unbelievable. You talk about the emotional roller coaster in these last 30 seconds where you see a game-winning walk-off extended play touchdown get called back because of an ineligible man downfield, the dramatic fashion and unfortunate missing of the field goal. Wow.
And all of the storylines behind it. Eric Kasparovich comes back to North Hills, faces a young man that he used to coach here at North Hills, and Brody Zangaro, and an unbelievable chance for North Hills to score and walk it off. A flag, then a chance to go to overtime. That is spoiled by a kick that doesn't go, and another look.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. He knew as soon as he kicked it that it was off. And it's just a tough thing to deal with at this level, man. But if you're Coach Brody, there are a lot of positives that happened tonight.
That's just a sophomore kicker out there, by the way.
Absolutely. It's not easy on these guys. But as a whole, you would love to have had the victory at the end, but there are plenty to build upon from this matchup. But if you're Mars, it doesn't matter how you get it done. just find a way to get it done. We talked about last year, 5-1 on the road. They found a way. Not about where you're going, right? Not about the destination, it's about that journey.
Yep.
And you saw here tonight, everything that took place, all of the negative that was happening, self-inflicted from Mars early on in the game. But when it came down to it at the end, they were the more disciplined team, and they were the ones who did not have the self-inflicted issue. And that was ultimately why they were able to get the victory tonight.
Susie Cole has the Macero Construction Player of the Game. We'll go down to her and Gabe Hine.
Thanks, Matt. I'm here with our Macero Construction Player of the Game from Mars, Gabe Hine. Gabe, first of all, this is yours, so congratulations. A huge honor. But, I mean, what a crazy couple of final minutes here in this game against North Hills. How do you even begin to describe the emotions that were running through you?
Chaotic. I mean, sad, happy, mad, upset. You just, through all that, me scoring a touchdown, happy, coming back, they keep getting play after play after play. Then our emotions are high. We're like, uh-oh, is it really about to happen? Deep down inside, we know, we're about to win this game. We're going to come out top. And then that last play, I thought we lost. I was devastated because the score shouldn't have been this close. We know our worth. We know who we are. But we saw the flag, and we got our second chance, so we came through with it.
Who is this Mars team defining themselves as at this point in the season, starting at 3-0?
Shoot, it's special. I don't even. 4th year of high school, I've never been 3-0, so we got a special team coming here. I mean, my goal is get that ring. I mean, we want that WPIAL championship. We want to be celebrating, hanging out with all our boys. In this 3-0, just it emphasizes what we know, what we can do, what everyone else doesn't see as we can do. So we just got to keep going out every single day, improving ourselves.
Gabe, congratulations out there tonight.
So
what a great win by you and your team. Go ahead, go celebrate with your teammates. Matt, Arthur?
Susie, thank you. Congratulations to Game High and our Macero Construction Player of the Game. The Mars Planets get it done 13-10. Wow. This one's going to get talked about for a long time, Arthur.
I'm just glad we got the opportunity to call this game, to be here, to see how the roller coaster of emotions throughout, and then that last just 30-second sequence. Insane.
For Mars, it doesn't get easier. They'll host the first home game of the season for the Planets. They'll host Aliquippa, who is trailing pretty big against Avonworth tonight. Then they go on the road to Montour before back at home at West Mifflin. 4 out of their 5 non-conference games are on the road. So road warriors for the Planets this year. As for North Hills, they try to regroup, but it doesn't get easier for them. They'll host Pine Richland. That was a game that they played very close last year. Kind of surprised some people. One of their 2 losses of the 2024 campaign. Then Fox Chapel on the road before back here at Martorelli to take on the Knights of Norwin. Back up here in the broadcast booth one more time with Arthur Moats, Matt Fargo with you. And wow. To maybe be a little ironic and punny, this game was out of this world.
Most definitely was. When you talk about that finish, though, as a viewer, this is what you want to see. I know us as broadcasters, we had an absolute blast. But more importantly, it's all about finishing the game. We talked about that as the keys early on. Who was going to finish? And we saw that right there. Special teams matters. And unfortunately, it was a special teams error at the end of the game. Missed field goal. But that's the difference.
And so much of it throughout this game was North Hills executing well on the special team side of things. It ends up being that missed field goal at the end that allows Mars to escape. But you know what? Mike Tomlin always talks about it, throw style points out the window. I think that's this Mars team right now. It wasn't pretty, and I think Eric Kasparovich knows that. But all that means is they have another win in that win call.
Absolutely. And the positive things, though, if you're Coach Kasparovich, is this. You ran the ball extremely well, and you have a really good defense. Those 2 things right there, and you throw special teams as well, you're going to be in every single game. And that was a prime example tonight. And it bought them enough time for when the mistakes happened on North Hillside, they were able to capitalize on that and ultimately do enough to get the victory in the end.
You see Aliquippa, Mars, Thomas Jefferson, McKeesport. I think that's a pretty solid top 4 in 4A. It'll be interesting to see how this thing shakes out.
Absolutely. And you think about the talent on all those rosters as well. I mean, truly a treat for all WPIAL football fans.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We had a treat here tonight for you as Mars defeats North Hills 13-10 in what was epic fashion. should be a lot of fun as we take a look at those highlights. And we will be on the air again next week, as it will be the Bethel Park Blackhawks taking on the West Mifflin Titans. But this one was as electrifying as it can get in high school football. Mars survives 3-0 for the first time since 2018 as they down North Hills 13-10. For Arthur Moat, Susie Cole, Jake Mislipchik, Corey Berger, and our entire JRM video production crew, I'm Matt Fargo saying thanks so much for watching this presentation of the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week presented by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Until next week, from the shadows of Kennywood Park, thanks so much for watching. The 10 o'clock news is next. Good night, everybody, from Martorelli.